when you get to week 13 of the high school football season, as we've reached that point, only good teams remain. We've got two very good ones here at Crispin Field tonight, bidding for the District 2 Quad A Championship. The Bulldogs of Berwick in the final for the 6th consecutive year, hoping for the school's 11th district title overall, taking on the Cougars of Valley View. Before we get to the Cougars starting lineup, we'd like to give a shout-out to a good friend, a Berwick grad, and a longtime Bulldogs fan, Lee Camp, who is recovering from surgery in Florida, listening in his hospital bed. I'd like to wish Lee the best of recoveries from that surgery, which we understand went very, very well. So, Lee, hope you enjoy the game. For Valley View offensively, at the tight end, they'll start with Kyler Rosina, number 87. He's a 6', 220-pound sophomore. We'll also see Nasir Smith, number 9, a 6'3", 175-pound senior. Smith has caught 4 passes, but for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. John Schnippes is the left tackle. He wears number 56. He is 6'3", 260, a sophomore. The left guard is number 62, E.J. Alco, a 6', 230-pound junior. Connor Judge starts at center for the Cougars. He wears number 57. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, a junior. Mike Sebastianelli is the right guard, number 77. He's a junior at 6', 250 pounds. And Brian Durkin is the right tackle, 6'4", 270 pounds, a junior. Leading receiver on this team is Chase Coombs. He's 5'8", 155 pounds, a junior. 16 receptions on the season for 271 yards and 1 touchdown. We'll also see Alex Sakov. Sapkov is a 5'11", 170-pound sophomore with 6 catches, 156 yards, and a touchdown. The quarterback, a returner from a year ago, the senior Chandler Fuller, 6'2", 180-pounder. Great rushing numbers. He's averaging 6 yards a carry, 518 yards rushing, and 7 touchdowns. Passing, they only throw about 7.4 passes a game. He's completed 49%, 44 for 89, for 768 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. The leading rusher on this team is number 28, Seth Vernon. The speedster, 6'3", 180-pound senior, 1,398 yards rushing and 23 touchdowns. He's averaging 9.4 yards a carry. We'll also see number 34, Mason Cordish. He is a 5'10", 160-pound junior with 66 carries on the season for 495 yards and 9 touchdowns. The fullback, they'll use a number of them. Number 8, Sam Pitzman. He is 6', 220 pounds, a senior. He's rushed for 281 yards and 3 touchdowns, averaging 5.8 yards a carry. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Cougars of Valley View, and what a potent unit it is. 40.1 points per game, 291.6 yards rushing, 67.2 passing. For the Bulldogs of Berwick, the tight end will be number 11, Joe Norse. He is a 6'3", 185-pound senior, 10 pass receptions on the season for 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. The left tackle is number 72, Ben Peck, 6'3", 251 pounds, a junior. Tom Monaco, number 73, is the left guard. He is the senior at 6'3", 284 pounds. The starting center is number 79, Noah Craig, 6', 246-pound sophomore. Fellow sophomore Mike Zalutka starts at the right guard. He wears number 71. He is 6'1", 264 pounds. And the right tackle, number 70, Chase Struther, 6'3", 294 pounds, a senior. Frank Sheptock, head coach of the Bulldogs, praised his offensive line. He thought they were terrific in last week's convincing 48-14 semifinal win over North Pocono. At the wide receiver position, the leading receiver on this team is number 3, Damon Beckhorn. He's a 6', 181-pound senior, 38 receptions of the season for 531 yards and 7 touchdowns. We might also see Damon carrying the football, maybe out of the Wildcat spot tonight. And he has 28 rushes on the season for 188 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 6.7 yards a carry. Second leading receiver is number 13, Jared Watts. He wears number 13. He's 5'10", 167 pounds, a senior, 25 receptions of the season for 352 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jared Marshman, with his 7th start of the season, had that unfortunate injury in the offseason, missed half of the season came back and has done a superb job. He's completing almost 61% of his passes for 825 yards, 13 touchdowns to just 1 interception. The leading rusher on this team is Evan Klinger, but how much we'll see him carrying the football, we'll have to wait and see. Probably not very much because of that ankle injury. Evan wears number 80. He's 5'10", 175 pounds, a senior, 885 yards rushing, and 9 touchdowns. He's averaging 6.7 yards a carry. If Klinger's not able to go, even if he is, we'll see a lot of Owen Shoemaker, number 39, a 5'9", 191-pound junior, 799 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns, averaging 6.8 yards a carry. And he's coming off a career best performance against North Pocono. Last week, 146 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. The fullback, when they employ one, will be number 44, Joey Lynn, the 5'11", 216-pound junior. 16 carries on the season for 87 yards and a touchdown. That's the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs. Under Frank Sheptock in his second season as head coach, this offense averages 32.3 points per game. The Bulldogs against the Cougars. The keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, when you look at the keys in this one, the first thing that just jumps out at you is Berwick's going to have to stop the run. It's a team that doesn't pass all that often, minimal passing numbers, but when they do, they can get some big chunks. The receivers average a lot per catch because many teams get caught up overplaying the run, that when they do go play action, they sell it well, and they do make big passing plays. Berwick needs to be aware of that, but more aware of stopping the run. They have weapons. Seth Vernon, physically imposing. He's 6'3", towering presence in the backfield, 180 pounds and a senior, and he is a sprinter. The District 2 200-meter champ. He can find himself, get that crack, get that little seam, and boom, he's gone. He's got great big play potential. You look at his numbers, you say, well, what's the most impressive? From scrimmage on the season, just about 1,400 yards, 1,395. That's 116 yards a game against a very challenging schedule. 9.4 yards a carry. So almost every carry is practically a first down throughout the season. So Berwick's going to have their hands full with this guy who scored 23 touchdowns on the season. And when they pull him out, they don't seem to skip a beat. People who've watched the team say they're just as good when they put in fresh running backs like Mason Cordich or Trayon Jones or Janassa Boone. Couple it with the guy who sort of runs the counters to his mainstay running, and that's the quarterback. Chandler Fuller, a running quarterback by design. Oh, he can pass. He'll hit his passes downfield, but that's not their game. This guy's run for over 500 yards on the season, and it'll be a huddle call. They'll call his number in the huddle, and he'll run that play. Now, occasionally it may be a run-pass option, but he really does like to run. And nothing in high school football is as challenging at an offensive system that features a running quarterback. So keep your eyes on Chandler Fuller. How does Berwick stop it? Well, they need to keep everything in front of them. They can't allow seams to develop because with the speed this team has, you get that crack, you get that gash, it could very well go for the touchdown. So, Berwick's been challenged before by big offensive lines. They're seeing a very big one tonight, averaging 244 pounds a man. They can't get pushed out. They have to maintain their positions. They have to play assignment football rather than any freelancing. Use excellent technique and not get moved out. And they're hoping that the front seven makes the stop. If not, the secondary's got to really be ready. I have to watch for play action, make sure you're not going to be beaten deep. But the secondary in this game is going to have to come in and fill. Keegan Wilkes has done an excellent job of coming up from free safety, reads that there's no pass, and he comes up like a linebacker. But the best of the best on Berwick at doing it is Evan Klinger, and he's been injured. So his focus on defense tonight is imperative. Berwick would really like to see him stay healthy, be able to work with that injured angle, and still be able to come strong from sort of a strong safety linebacker position to fill whatever holes may open. And Berwick's success in this game may depend upon the ability of Evan Klinger to go with it. Flip it around. What's Berwick got to do? Stay balanced. They got to run. And they're going to be running it without Evan Klinger. I don't think we're going to see him take any snaps at tailback. As a coach, I wouldn't. He's too valuable defensively. And it's going to be the workhorse of Owen Shoemaker in this one. He only plays one way. You're into the deep conditioning of, late in the season. He'll be able to do it. He'll be happy to take on that load. And he's going to have to make things happen from the tailback. Now, they have other varieties. They can run jet sweeps with the receivers, and they've been good with it. They can run the Wildcat with Damon Beckhorn. They've kind of been saving that, haven't had to use it. And Jared Marshman, I think, may take on some of the load and some more designed running. More importantly than the run, I think it's a night for passing. I think Berwick feels that this team can be attacked through the air. Marshman, for playing a game this late in the season, is not in cold weather. He's not in any type of a breeze blowing. He's been peaking as a quarterback with his accuracy. I think it might be that coming out party with Jared Marshman passing this team into a victory, Jim.
Bulldogs have made their way on this to the near side of the field, wearing their blue jerseys with the white helmets, white pants, white numerals and trim. Across the way, the Cougars in their white jerseys, gold pants, blue numerals, and blue helmets. So it is Valley View against Berwick at stake. The District 2 Quad A Championship. We'll be back with a kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
If you're considering any type of construction project, call Fenstermacher Construction at 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction specializes in new home construction, roofing, siding, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, additions, and garages. They have over 10 years experience in the home building industry, and they are licensed and insured. For quality and reliable service, call 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction, proud to sponsor the Berwick Bulldogs in the playoff series.
That Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
For 50 years, Bodner Sales and Service, 204 West Front Street, Berwick, has been providing superior office equipment to businesses and organizations throughout the area. They are proud of carrying the award-winning line of Konica Minolta office copiers and printers and have purchase, lease, and sales plans to fit any size budget. Regardless of your needs, Bodner's courteous staff will take care of you promptly and efficiently. Bodner Sales and Service has been family-owned since 1967 and would like to thank their loyal customers for 50 great years while also inviting new customers to find out just how good local service can be.
Berlin's Greenhouses expresses their sincere thanks to all their loyal customers for their patronage during the fall season and throughout the year. They look forward to serving you again next spring. Gift certificates make great gift ideas for the coming holidays, and you can purchase them from Berlin's Greenhouses, as well as wreaths and grave blankets. They will be available during the week and by appointment by calling 752-4255. Berlin's Greenhouses, 6081 Park Road in Berwick. Wish the Berwick Bulldogs well during the playoffs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Berwick Choral Group, the Modern Airs, with our national anthem prior to District 2 Quad A Championship football from Crespin Field tonight. The Bulldogs against the Cougars of Valley View. Officiating crew for tonight's game, Chuck Supon is the referee. Ed Lakovich is the umpire. Steve Jimsky the linesman. Line judge, Gary Schmeitling. Jack Loomis is the back judge. Chuck Hannon is the side judge, and the field judge is Paul Sheehan. Valley View won the toss, deferred to the second half, so we'll get our look at the Berwick offense to start. And boy, looking across the way, Valley View travels well.
Yeah.
This is by far the biggest visiting crowd to be here at Crispin Field this season.
In-home side has nice crowds as well, but Berwick also likes to spread out into the end zones and on the sidelines. So, yeah, we haven't seen a packed house like this in a while, Jimmy. This should be a thriller.
Berwick will be moving from our right to our left. And again, among the many things that Berwick misses with Evan Klinger not 100% is his return value. So Damon Beckhorn will take his place in the middle of the field. Tegan Wilk and Alex Parks on either side of him, as Cam Chakotay, number 19, will kick it off for Valley View. So the District 2 Quad A Championship, the right to advance into Week 2 of the state playoffs, at stake here tonight as Chakotay has the whistle from the officials. This game is underway and kicks it along the turf, and a high hop will be fielded by Wilk, and he drops the ball at the 10 and is dropped about the 27-yard line. So they didn't want the ball to go deep to the Berwick return man, but Wilk finally got his hands on it, returned to the 27. Valley View defensively, Nasir Smith and Kyle Swalinski at the ends, Brian Durkin and Lou Vitale-Voglino the tackles. Inside linebacker Sam Pitzman, outside of him Trayon Jones and Robert Sebastianelli. The corners are Chase Coombs and Mason Cordish. Jaden Duplessis and Janassa Boone are the safeties.
Janassa Boone made that tackle down there, Jim.
1st and 10 for Berwick. The 26-yard line is the line of scrimmage. The call goes to Owen Shoemaker. He tries the left side and nothing doing. Maybe a half yard on the play. Zwolensky, coming from his defensive end position, 240-pound senior at 6'2", makes the play. A yard to the 27, 2nd down and 9 Bulldogs.
Very aggressive. This team's good at defensive end in Zwolensky, who we just saw. He had 9 sacks last year, likes to go down well. And also opposite him, Nasir Smith, 6'3", 175-pound senior.
Beckhorn in motion, a high snap, and it goes right to Beckhorn, and he gets out to about the 30-yard line. That's not how they draw it up. He might have been in position to take the handoff if Marshman had been able to hold it, but it was a high snap. It deflected off Marshman right into the hands of Beckhorn, who picked up 2, and it's going to be a 3rd and 7.
Passing situation, wide side of the field is to the right as Berwick is here on the near side.
Trips to the right side. One receiver to the left. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, fires a bullet pass, has his man Beckhorn. He turns the corner, he has the 1st down. He slammed to the turf at about the 38-yard line.
Real nice pass. Marshman gets it quickly in the shotgun, flips it around in his hand, and it just snaps it out there about 2 yards downfield. Damon Beckhorn's able to pick up his other receiver and twins, use him as a blocker, work his way to the outside, and get the chase.
9 yards on the reception to Damon Beckhorn. 1st and 10 Berwick at their 38-yard line. Marshman directing traffic to his receivers on the left. There's a slot to that side. He takes the snap, and he's back to throw, and he's looking long down the field. Beckhorn's over at the 35. Makes a cut to the 30. Down to the 25-yard line. Jared Marshman on target to David Beckhorn for a big gain.
Yeah, roughly 40 yards. We'll count it out. Beckhorn in the slot on the left hash, does a post. Somehow the safety cheated up. He got behind that. He had to wait for the football, and he caught it in stride, even able to take it all the way.
36 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 Berwick from the 26-yard line. The call goes off the right side to Shoemaker, and he's got room inside the 20 down to the 16, very close to a Berwick 1st down.
The pass has now opened up the run. After 2 successful passes, Berwick in its up-tempo style, able to burst Shoemaker ahead for 9.
2nd down and 1 from the 17. Out of the pistol. Shoemaker the call. Looks for the 1st down yardage and should have it as he pounds down to about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Berwick will use its good offensive line. It's been a sturdy one. Noah Craig and Mike Saluco at the point of attack that time, and they do move the chains with Owen Shoemaker's run.
15-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Berwick threatening off the opening kickoff.
Taking their time and getting the play. It is up-tempo. There's no huddle to it. But there's a deliberation in getting the play they want.
Tegan Wilk wide to the right side. Slot to the left. Beckhorn, the slot back, comes in motion. The call goes to Shoemaker up the middle, and Shoemaker gets down to the 10-yard line. Good 1st down carry for Owen Shoemaker.
The offensive line is pushing the defensive tackles back, and those are big people in there. Vitali Baglino goes 320 pounds. Durkin goes 270. But yet there is a separation. They'll give him 3 on that.
Second down and 7 from the 12-yard line. Marshman back to throw, has Beckhorn, but he is brought to the turf very quickly at about the 8-yard line.
They'll move the chains for about 4 or 5.
John Duplessis from his safety position making the play for the Cougars. So it is a 3rd down and 3 from the Valley View 8-yard line.
I'd anticipate a run because it could be 4th down territory.
There's the call to Shoemaker. Shoemaker's the first down. Shoemaker's the touchdown as he goes in standing up off the left side.
Beautiful run. Beautiful run. Went over the center. It was designed to cut back against the grain to the left. He did that. The linebacker went, having his momentum go the other way, pushed him aside, and then found it free and easy into the end zone. Really a nice run and good blocking. Good assignment blocking. Probably a trap on the inside for Shoemaker's score.
Jake Lanning will do the long snapping. Evan Klinger will hold. Ken Marshman will attempt the extra point. Perfect snap, perfect kick. Time on the field. 8:45 to go first quarter. Berwick 7, Valley View nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Quick start for Berwick. They march off the opening kickoff. 9 plays, 74 yards. Owen Shoemaker in from the 8-yard line for the score. 7-0 Bulldogs. 8:45 to go in the half. Valley View with some dangerous deep people. Marshman will kick. And Vernon at the 9-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and caught from behind. Nice play by Ryan Lawbaugh. Good tackle in the open field against that speedster at about the 27-yard line.
It wasn't a high kick. It kind of line drived on down there, the type that you often can return. But he came up his own hash mark here on this near side. And Lawbaugh in position to square up and make a fine tackle in open field.
Berwick defensively comes out, and Evan Klinger is in that defensive alignment. We'll check it after this play. 1st and 10, Valley View from their 27-yard line. Vernon, deep in the backfield, is the lone running back, and a toss sweep to the left side to the speedster, and he turns the corner, 30, 35, and he's out to the 40 and out to the 42-yard line. 15 yards on his first carry of the night. Berwick defensively across the front with Mason Lawbaugh and Eric Montez at the ends. J.J. Snyder, Ben Peck the tackles. The linebackers Joey Lynn and Noah Craig. Alex Parks, Damon Beckhorn, Evan Klinger, Tegan Wilk, and Ryan Lawbaugh, the secondary.
Ryan Lawbaugh stopped that play from going all the way, came up from his corner, made a safe tackle.
Now Vernon, the tailback in the eye, and he gets the call and gets some pretty good yardage on the first down as he gets up to about the 45. Evan Klinger among the people in on the play for the Bulldogs. They give him 4 to the 46, 2nd and 6.
Tegan Wilk coming up as well. So it's the safety had to come up and make the stop on the inside play. The corner had to make the stop on the outside play. Both teams getting great service out of their offensive linemen, creating seams for the running back.
Now Vernon is out of there, and Fuller will operate out of the shotgun with Pitzman to his left. Fuller has the snap. He's going to run the football off the left side. He spins close to the first down yardage as he got over midfield. David Beckhorn coming up to make the play for the Bulldogs.
Joey Lynn also scraping on down and then shooting through the gap to get the man by the ankles. But a 3rd and less than 1 coming up now for a team that likes to run the ball.
Vernon back in that lineup. Clock running, 7:18 to go, first quarter. Berwick off to that 7-0 lead, but Valley View on their first possession in Berwick territory. 3rd and 1 from the 49. Power I to the right side. Quarterback keeper by Fuller straight ahead. He has the first down and then some as he gets to the Berwick 46-yard line.
Yeah, he looks like he likes to run that quarterback sneak. Great surge from his lineman was all he needed. Then the push from behind that's now allowable. Connor Judge, his center, and Mike Sebastianelli at the point of attack.
So Valley View on the march at the Berwick 46-yard line. Chris Coombs wide to the left. Jaden DeSepsis wide to the right. Fuller now under center. Gives the ball off the left side to Pittsman. He's going nowhere. He has stood up. Joey Lynn from his linebacker spot. 5'11", 216-pound senior's had a terrific season. 3rd on the team in tackles. Makes one there, holds it to a yard gain. 2nd and 9, Valley View at the Berwick 45.
Defensive front four needs to just engage, sort of create obstructions with those offensive linemen. Linebackers have to stay free, as do the safeties who are cheating up some to make the tackles.
Fuller out of the gun. Slot to the left. 2nd and 9. A high snap. Fuller able to pull it down. But Berwick with great pursuit, and Beckhorn brings him down for a loss back at midfield.
He's good with the tackles for loss, Jim. That's his 11th of the season. He was coming hard thinking it might be pass. He knew he wasn't going to get to the loose ball at quarterback, but he knew the quarterback was going to have to roll in his direction. Quarterback gets it, takes about 3 steps, but still going to be a 4 or 5 yard loss.
Malik McMillan, an extra defensive back in for Berwick on this 3rd and 14. Valley View from midfield. Fuller looks to the sideline for the play. He's got a slot to the right. Long count. Has the snap. Back to throw. Pump fake. Steps up into it. Fires to the sideline way over the head of the intended receiver, Jaden Duplessis. So, punting situation for Valley View. That bad snap really hurt that drive.
It did, Jim, but Berwick stayed tough. Valley View moved the ball very well on the ground against them, and as you mentioned, the bad snap, which became a 4 yard loss, was the killer of the drive.
Robert Sebastianelli will do the long snapping. Kyle Swalinski back to punt for the Cougars, back at his 37-yard line. David Beckhorn, Tegan Wilk deep for Berwick. Snap a little bit high. Swalinski pulls it down and gets the kick away. Beautiful kick. Sails it high and deep. And Wilk back at the 10-yard line, to the 15, to the 20, and out to the 28-yard line. Good return, and Berwick in business has Damon Beckhorn on the return for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he made the first man miss by coming up, and then he was picked up as a blocker. He finds a little bit of a lane toward the Berwick side, toward the hash. And that gets him from where he started, catching the ball around the 10-yard line, out to about the 30 with a nice return.
5:09 remaining in the opening quarter. Berwick with the ball and a 7-0 lead.
They balanced their offense, 3 completes and 3 attempts, and they've had 5-6 runs along the way. 5 of the 6 runs by Owen Shoemaker.
And now we see Shoemaker to the right and Beckhorn to the left of Marshman, who operates out of the gun with a slot to the right side.
Signaling out to his receivers.
Has the snap, play action. He's back to throw, and he looks long downfield, incomplete. Just a little bit too tall for Eric Montez at midfield.
It's strange with Beckhorn in the backfield that you do go to the pass, but I think people were considering run. Montez from tight end position posted, had a step or two, but the ball just a little bit too strong, or Montez a little bit slower than Marshman was hoping.
2nd down and 10. Bulldogs from their 29-yard line. Slot to the right, wide receiver left. Marshman has the shotgun snap, fires a quick out to Beckhorn. It's too hard and through the hands of Beckhorn at the 30-yard line.
I'd like to lead that receiver on that quick little hitch pattern where he just turns and you throw it now. Instead of at the numbers or toward the line of scrimmage. I think Marshman sensed it was being defended, a man coming up. So he had to throw behind Beckhorn, and with the zip he put on the ball, Beckhorn couldn't handle it. 3rd and 10.
Trips to the right side. Slot to the left. Marshman back to throw. Big pass rush. Swilinski has him at the 20-yard line. Swilinski from that defensive end position had over 9 sacks a year ago. 6'2", 240-pound senior. They're going to mark it at the 22, a loss of 7, and the punt team on for Berwick.
Yeah, he had enough time to throw it, but the coverage was too good. He didn't want to risk the interception. Counted an extra 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and they're going to be on you. And Swilinski certainly was on Jared Marshman for the sack.
Mason Cordish, Chase Coombs deep for Valley View. Jake Lanning will do the long snapping. Alex Sherkuski at the Berwick 8-yard line gets the snap and gets the kick away. Not very long, very, very high. Berwick with a good coverage. That takes a good roll for the Bulldogs, but it will go just to the Valley View 43-yard line. So that's where the Cougars will have it. Good field position with 4:07 to go in this opening quarter, and Berwick leading by a score of 7-0.
Berwick jumped out to that quick 7-0 score and seemed to have momentum, Jim, but now things sort of evened up a little bit. Berwick stopping a drive that worked for about 20 or 30 yards. And then being forced to punt it on back. Oh, it's up to Valley View to try to get the momentum now.
One wide receiver to the left. Fuller under center. 2 blocking backs to the right. And the toss sweep to the right to Vernon, and Berwick defends it very, very well. Ryan Lawbaugh was the first one there. Joey Lynn came in as well from his linebacker spot.
Lawbaugh went to the outside shoulder, forcing Vernon inside to a collision. Helmet to helmet with Joey Lynn, who seemed to relish the contact. Joey Lynn's playing very aggressively today. He stepped up his game a little bit by what I've seen here in this first quarter.
2nd down and 8. Valley View at their 45. Cougars moving from our left to our right. Pitzman is the lone running back, right behind the quarterback, Chandler Fuller. Fuller then gives to Cordish, coming from a wingback position, and Mason Cordish with a good run over midfield to the Berwick 49-yard line. He'll pick up about 6 on the play. 3rd and short coming for Valley View.
Joey Lynn again at linebacker was the man who got penetration, dove at the ankles, knocked the man off balance before Berwick was able to finish up the play. A little bit too much as it throws a 3rd and about 2 or a long yard here.
3rd and 2 from the Berwick 49-yard line. As Fuller will operate from the gun. Pitzman in motion left to right. Fuller takes the snap. He's going to run for the first down, and he won't get to the sticks. Great defense by Berwick, swarming on the quarterback.
Damon Beckhorn's the man who came up, though, and took the legs out from under him. Berwick's swarming, but they're swarming in lanes. A man inside, a man outside, and then one up the middle. They forced him into Beckhorn straight up the middle, and that'll force a punt. But watch for a fake because they're just across the 50-yard line into Berwick territory.
And Fuller, the quarterback, is in there as a blocking back. They could short snap to him. So Walensky's back there, and the snap does go to the punter, who gets the kick away very, very high, angling toward the sideline. Berwick will have to let it roll, and it rolls dead about the Bulldog 18-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play. With 2:06 remaining in a fast-moving first quarter, Berwick leading Valley View by a score of 7-0.
Berwick would like to get its momentum back. The momentum it had in its first drive where it drove in and put 7 points up on the scoreboard. This team's pretty good against the run, but Berwick opened that up with some timely passing as Marshman started 3 of 3. However, in the last sequence, he was 0 for 2, and then a sack after that forced the punt.
Berwick sends 3 receivers to the right, Wilk, Parks, and Beckhorn. Shoemaker's the running back to the left of Marshman. Shoemaker gets the call, looks for room, and nothing there. Get maybe a yard to the 20-yard line. Valley View filled the hole well.
Robert Sebastianelli is one of the linebackers on this team, and he's a physical player. He saw the hole that it was going to hit. Berwick had it blocked, but could not get a man on the linebacker. He filled and stops it dead.
2nd down and 9. Berwick from their 20-yard line. Marshman has the shotgun snap, fires a quick out, has his man, a completion for just about 3 out to the 23-yard line. 3rd down coming for the Bulldogs.
Keegan Wilk on the catch, trying to do what we've seen Damon Beckhorn do. Use the blocking out there to his advantage, but Valley View really came up quickly on it. Berwick, seeing that, will be tempted to go long, but probably not on this play.
3rd down and 5. And Beckhorn takes the snap out of the Wildcat, and he has room over the 30, the 35, and tripped up from behind short of the 40-yard line. Damon Beckhorn out of the Wildcat took the direct snap, looked for an opening, found one, and picked up good yardage out to the 39-yard line for a first down.
Yes, he did. Change of pace with the Wildcat really upsets the defense, and off he comes with yardage.
15 yards on the carry. Beckhorn again out of the Wildcat. Fakes handoff, keeps the football, looks for room. This time not much there. He gets to about the 43-yard line. Lou Vitale Bogliano, a 6'2", 320-pound senior on the play for Valley View.
Not much, but call it 4 yards. He runs the way you see in the schoolyard sometime, that sort of jump back, miss me, cutting type of motion with the quickness, and gains 4 yards on that bobbing and weaving.
2nd and 6, Marshman back in there, hands to Shoemaker, and Shoemaker drags the tackler over midfield to a first down near the 47-yard line of Valley View.
Yep, now the offense goes back to standard, so mixing it up. After seeing the running quarterback out of the Wildcat, they go to standard formation, and Owen Shoemaker finds that inside seam.
10 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 at the Valley View 47. Marshman fires to the sideline, has his man, Tegan Wilk, and Wilk is brought down at about the 37-yard line, and Valley View comes up with the football. Wilk fumbled on the sideline, and Trayon Jones recovered.
I missed it, Jim. I watched the catch, saw him running. The corners have been playing off of the dangerous wide receivers, so Berwick's been hitting them at the line of scrimmage and letting them run. But apparently during the tackle, the ball's pried loose. We're unable to see it because the Berwick body is in the way on the sideline, but recovered or taken out of his hands in bounds.
Trayon Jones with the fumble recovery. Valley View 1st and 10 at their 38. Late first quarter, Berwick with a 7-0 lead. Vernon, tailback in the I formation, gets the call, tries the left side, and gets outside. Turns the corner at the 40, the 45, and is out of bounds in Berwick territory at the 48, and a flag down, maybe 15 added onto this.
Most likely, where he was pushed out of bounds or pushed a little bit wild out of bounds. Blazing speed, Jim. You know, Berwick seemed to have a man in position come up from the corner. But he turned on the jets, went horizontal, and then turned it north and south. And that man just didn't realize what flew on by him. So Berwick has to adjust their game for this man's speed. Keep him contained. Don't let him get out wide because he'll outrun you and turn that corner as he did. And then a frustration penalty of 15 yards afterwards.
So a 14-yard carry by Seth Vernon. Then the penalty against Berwick takes it to the Bulldogs' 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Valley View, trailing 7-0. Fuller under center. Pitzman, the lone running back, right behind him. Man in motion is Hwanitz, the fullback. Pitzman gets the ball, breaks away from one tackler and another, and gets to the 29-yard line. Strong effort by Sam Pitzman on the final play of the opening quarter. With the score, Berwick 7, Valley View 0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
If you're planning a job or project that requires excavation, you need the experts at MDL Snow and Land, Inc. MDL Snow and Land does driveways, basements, septic systems, town hookups, and more. They will also haul sand, stone, crushed brick, and more in a variety of load sizes. And with winter just around the corner, MDL Snow and Land, Inc. provides prompt and efficient commercial snow removal from your business. For your next excavating, hauling, or commercial snow removal job, call the experts at MDL Snow and Land, 336-0289.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In the second quarter now, Mount Carmel leads Southern Columbia 7-3. Loyalsock and Scranton Prep are tied at 7 in the first. And at halftime, Imhotep Charter leads Cardinal O'Hara 13-7. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
One quarter in the book here at Crispin Field in Berwick. The Bulldogs leading 7-0 as they took the opening kickoff. Put together an impressive scoring drive, 9 plays, 74 yards. The defenses have moved in since then, but Valley View with a great opportunity. As we start this second quarter, the Cougars will move from our right to our left. And they have a 2nd down and 6, and they have it at the Berwick 29-yard line.
Get into situations like this, turnovers become magnified. Berwick had a nice little drive going. The turnover ends it, and momentum goes Valley View's way. They'll wish the quarter hadn't stopped that momentum.
Vernon is the tailback in the I formation. Pittsman ahead of him. Fuller about to get under center when the flag flew on the far side.
Yeah, linesman Steve Jimsky seeing somebody aligned improperly, and it's Berwick into neutral zone. So set up a 3rd and about 2, a short 2 at that.
Yeah, just 2nd down.
Second
penalty.
Situation where you can think play action. You don't have to think of getting the chains right at this moment. Quarterbacks proved very adept on the sneak. We saw that earlier.
2nd down and 1. Power I to the right side. Fuller under center. Gives the ball to Vernon. He has the 1st down and then some as he gets to the 20-yard line. Evan Klinger went low to bring him down, but Vernon with a 4-yard pickup and a 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the Berwick 20-yard line.
There's too many people at the point of attack. The line opens a seam. The 2 blockers and the power I go through. Vernon goes in, veers to the inside before his collision with Evan Klinger, but Klinger just can't get close enough to do anything more but limit it to a 4-yard gain.
1st and 10, Valley View from the 20. Mason Cordish is in there as the tailback in the I. Pittsman, the fullback, ahead of him. Fuller under center. Gives the ball to Cordish. Tries the right side. He has room. Makes a cut to the 15 and dragged down about the 12-yard line. Ryan Lawbaugh made what may have been a saving tackle for Berwick.
Seems too big at the line of scrimmage. Tackle's blown down, end kicked out, and there's a huge C-gap. They're going to run through that, explode through that, and Vernon with his speed, ever dangerous.
Mason Cordish it was with a 7-yard carry. 2nd down and 3. Valley View at the Berwick 13-yard line.
Both teams putting on blocking clinics, Jim. Great offensive line play.
And now some confusion on the part of the Cougars. They will burn a timeout. 10:57 to go in the half. 7-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
10:57 remaining first half. Berwick with a 7-0 lead, but that lead in jeopardy. Valley View following their timeout. 2nd down and 3 at the Bulldogs 13-yard line.
They're going to power I, Jim. Power football.
Fuller under center. 2nd down call coming. Pittsman gets the call, looking for room. He's inside the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. 1st and goal for Valley View.
They saw in the short yardage how well that formation worked. They attacked the same A-gap off the right side. The line opens the seam. 2 blocking backs power through. And then it's Pittsman this time who finds the nice opening.
10 yards on the carry. Valley View 3 yards away from a tie here early in the second quarter.
They'll stay with the formation, keep going with power.
Again, this time power is to the right side. Fuller from the 3, gives it off to the right, and they gain to about the 2, maybe the 1-yard line.
Cordish was that running back who's behind all that blocking. They're trying to cut it in half and cut it in half, and then eventually push it in. They feel physically they have Berwick's number, and on what they've done in the last 3 or 4 plays, they're showing that physically they do have it.
They mark it at the 2, so just a gain of a yard on the play. And the Cougars from the 2-yard line. Vernon back in there as the tailback toss sweep right side. Seth Vernon headed toward the end zone. He's in for the touchdown. Vernon in from 2 yards out. Valley View an extra point away from a tie.
They were pounding inside in the A-gap. Now they get to Steed and Seth Vernon, and he's able to take it with the pitch. He can pick his seam inside or outside with the blocking he got as Berwick was worried about the inside run. He bursted inside his blocker, made it in easily.
Matt Cesarini, 56 for 62 and extra points on the season, will try to tie it. Robert Sebastianelli with the long snap, the placement, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. 9:55 to go first half. Berwick 7, Valley View 7. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Valley View gets a fumble recovery and goes 7 plays, 62 yards following that recovery. Seth Vernon in from the 2-yard line for his 24th rushing touchdown of the season. Now Chakotay will kick off. It's an onside kick. A scramble is on at the 45-yard line. No indication yet. A great attempt by Chakotay. Malik McMillan was the closest one there for Berwick, and he took a real shot. Was he able to get on the football? Yep. He was.
Yeah, but he was retreating. As they approached the ball, he was retreating as the middleman, as were the tackles aside of him and the ends aside of him. But he did not completely turn and sprint. He kept half an eye, and he saw that ball tipped. It trickled to 10 yards, but he planted at 5 and came back. It was quite a fight for the football. He had it at first, was pushed away, but then continued with the fight and got it. A very effective-looking onside kick attempt by Valley View.
But Berwick with good field position at their own 45 as Marshman play action back to throw. Has time, fires on the middle of Wilkin. He is knocked away from the ball right on his fingertips, but then a huge hit by
Janassa Boone. He came up hard, Jim. He realized his play was going to be to separate the player from the ball. A good, clean hit in there. Actually hit the extended arms that came back for the football. Open momentarily, but unable to hold on because of the jolting hit.
Yeah, it would have been a huge catch by Wilk. A tough one as the call goes to Shoemaker, and he's going nowhere. In fact, he'll lose yardage back to the 44-yard line.
Tackle held his ground, would not open the seam. Linebacker then shot on in there. And good team defense as Sam Pitzman makes the play. So after the incomplete play and the ineffective run, make it a 3rd and 11 for Berwick.
Valley View has one sack in the game. It's by Zwolinski. He's on the right side of a 3-man front. Berwick on 3rd and 11. Marshman has the shotgun snap. They're coming at him. He throws downfield. The ball is nearly intercepted. Berwick screaming for a penalty as the player appeared to hold Wilk about the 32-yard line. There are no flags.
Don't always see them, Jim. I didn't see it. Berwick fans reacting, but might be as much reacting to the Berwick player imitating the throwing of the flag, or perhaps they saw the hold. 3 people able to watch for it, but there were 4 or 5 receivers out on the play, and Berwick's going to have to punt it away.
Chase Coombs and Mason Cordish deep for Valley View. Jake Lanning, the 9th grader, about to do the long snapping. Alex Sharkuski back at the Berwick 31-yard line to do the punting. Long count. Good snap. kick is away. Very, very high, and a fair catch by Coombs at the 22-yard line. Nice effort by Sharkuski. And Valley View will take over with 9:02 to go in the first half, and the score tied at 7.
Berwick's going to have to step up its game, Jim, because in the last drive, Valley View got physical, and they pushed Berwick around. They went power eye. They pushed the line back with their linemen, and power backs pushed people more and strong running. So right now, they have momentum after a defensive stop and their touchdown in the prior series where they physically outplayed Berwick.
1st and 10, Cougars. 6-game winning streak for them coming into this one. They were dominant in both of their playoff games to this point. Vernon is the tailback in the I formation. He gets the call off the right side. Seth Vernon meets a wall of blue as he gets to about the 24-yard line.
Evan Klinger leading that wall of blue, Jim. He's the first part of a wedge that just wedges on into the seam that Vernon tried to run. Physically punishing, but he's going to get 2 to 3 yards on it nonetheless.
In fact, they mark it at the 26-yard line. So it will be a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
It's not being stopped or stalled in the front. They're getting pushed back a little bit.
Mason Cordish now is the tailback in the I formation. Fuller gives it to him. He tries the right side, looks for some room, and he gets up to about the 30-yard line on the 2nd down carry. Picked up 4. 3rd down call coming for Valley View.
Keegan Wilk coming up to make the play, but it's the safeties who are being forced to making all the tackles. Berwick needs plays by its front 4. They need plays by the linebackers inside. But it's a dominant offensive line that plays very well. They're exploding out of their stances and getting to the Berwick front 6.
3rd and 3. Fuller out of the gun. Sends a man, and he's going to run it himself. He's got the first down, and then some to the 40 and out to the 42-yard line. Chandler Fuller running hard from his quarterback spot. Moves the chains for Valley View. Get at the Berwick 43. It's a 13-yard pickup.
Ryan Lawbaugh eventually has to make the stop. So again, in the secondary, set up nicely. Little trap block inside. They run it straight over the center with the quarterback, and the seam is there.
Slot to the left side. I formation. Under center is Fuller. Gives the fullback. Pittsman. He's out to about the 46, maybe the 47-yard line with a straight-ahead carry.
Yeah, quick hitting trap. They're pulling a guard from right to left, opening up the seam for the fullback. A different look where it's not the tailback getting it. 3 yards should be a Berwick win, but it's also something Valley View doesn't mind in its run-oriented game plan.
Under 7 minutes remaining first half. Score tied at 7. Valley View, 2nd down and 7. They have it at their own 46-yard line. Chandler Fuller, the senior quarterback, operates out of the gun. Has the snap. He's going to carry the football. A good second effort by him gets it to midfield into the Berwick 49-yard line. That time the Bulldogs got penetration. He was hit behind the line, but a good effort by him. He's a quarterback, but he is physical.
Yep. Yeah, Berwick read the play. Berwick had people in position. They had a defensive end coming up the lane. He was running. But Chandler Fuller won the collision, bounced away, and got the positive yard, 3rd and about a yard or 2.
6:10 remaining in the first half. The ball at the Berwick 49-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Pittsman is the fullback. Ahead of Vernon in the I. Fuller under center. Gives to Vernon, but flags and whistles blow dead.
I didn't see the movement, didn't see who threw the flag. Looks like the umpire inside. It'll be movement. It'll be 5 yards against Valley View. So that's a break for Berwick. It was 3rd and short, making 3rd and about 7 now. Not the situations they like with their run-first emphasis.
3rd down and 7, Valley View at their own 46-yard line. Vernon, it's not in there now. It's Cordish, the tailback in the I. Fuller under center. Toss sweep right side. They want to throw the football. Knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Is there a flag on the play?
Yes, there is, Jim. Jimmy LeGrand got in. and he grabbed at Cordish and kind of missed and then grabbed again. And I think he got him inside the shoulder pad, and you can call that a horse collar. So they'll call it a face mask, the horse collar, same type of penalty. Certainly not a malicious one, but I saw the same type of yank, and when you get the hands inside the equipment, that's the penalty. So what looks like it's going to be a big play for Jimmy LeGrand and a sack where the trickery does not fool them. It ends up to the advantage of Valley View with the penalty.
They were going to have the running back throw the ball downfield, is the way it looked. But they do have a first down on the penalty. They have it at the Berwick 44-yard line. Fuller under center. Vernon gets the carry. Flags fly. Tom Monaco's in there defensively now. Is the first one there for the Bulldogs right about the line of scrimmage.
Berwick needs some size in there, some fresh individuals who can kind of meet the charge of the offensive linemen. Monaco was in. It looks like Monaco's coming out with a little bit of a limp. Which way did the penalty go? 5 yards against Valley View or more?
They have not marked it off yet. Patience, Andy, patience.
I'm pumped up, Jim. I got my game face on. This is a good one. 5 yards in penalty is what we're anticipating. Must admit I have a little cheat, Jim. Carmen Caleri is up here observing the officiating crew, and he better do a good job because the field judge out there is Paul Sheehan, and he's the state inspector of all referees who hires him. So a little pressure on Carmen.
First and 15, Valley View from the Berwick 49. Fuller out of the gun, has the snap. He's back to throw. He sets up a screen to the far side. Berwick's all over it, and they'll gain just a yard to midfield.
Klinger's the first man on the screen, but the man's able to slip the tackle. It had the look of screen with the extra deep drop that wasn't really needed. But Berwick sensed the man sneaking out to the right side toward the Valley View bench. Evan Klinger is able to put the slow down hit on the receiver, and then the rest of the team jumping in.
Cordish caught it for a loss of 2. Valley View back at their 49-yard line. Second down and 17. Duplessis wide to the left side. I formation behind Fuller. Toss sweep left side to Vernon. Vernon is hit and dropped at the Berwick 48-yard line. Good open field tackling by the Bulldogs as Alex Parks is there to make the play. They mark it the 47, so they give him about 5 on the play. Third down and 13.
Alex Parks had to play contained, forced the runner to the inside. He did that into potential tacklers, but also joined in on the tackle himself. So a significant play, not letting the speedster wide, and then making the primary part of the tackle.
Third and long, Valley View. They have it at the Berwick 47. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Fuller out of the gun. Has the snap. Back to throw. Now he's going to run. Berwick in pursuit. He's hit and dropped at the 42-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
That we might expect holding. Let's see. It is going to be holding. Berwick should be able to decline this and force a punt or a fake punt from where they are. It's not an automatic decision.
Be fourth and about 8 for Valley View if Berwick declines this penalty.
Yeah, put a passing situation for a team that's not used to passing in predictable downs. You might take the yardage here. They're going to decline it. They're across the 50. This is a team that likes to take risks on fourth down. Berwick will have their eye on it, but they're going to force that punt now.
Zwolinski is on to do the punting. The line of scrimmage is the Berwick 42-yard line. Kyle Zwolinski is at the Valley View 45-yard line, but again, the quarterback Fuller is the up man on these snaps. But the snap goes to the punter, and he will kick it away. Beautiful kick high, and Damon Beckhorn at the Berwick 9-yard line to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, the 35, and dragged out the 38-yard line. There is, however, a flag down way back at the Berwick 11-yard line.
Near where he made the catch. I didn't see a clip, but I was watching Damon Beckhorn. Going to be an illegal use of hands way back there around the 10-yard line. What a beautiful return, though, Jim. Caught it comfortably, knew he had time. Able to catch it with peripheral vision, keep an eye half down the field while eyeing the ball into his hands. Took it straight ahead, split two potential tacklers, and then he's on into open field mode. But a hold back there that probably wasn't needed is going to move it back to about the 6-yard line.
So the situation for Berwick is this. Score's tied at 7. They have the ball at their own 6. 3:14 to go in the half, and they have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
I think you take your time. I think it's not the worst thing to take this one in 7-7 with this field position. You don't want a quick 3 and out.
Slot to the left. Beckhorn is in that slot. The call goes to Owen Shoemaker, looking for room off the left side, and Shoemaker will get maybe a yard on the play, and that's all.
Yep. Of course, it is predictable what the team would want to do. You'd want to run. He's the tailback. He's the guy who's going to get the ball. And Valley View's played pretty stingy defense against the run since the early moments of the first quarter.
2nd and 9. Berwick from their 7. 2:49 to go in the half. Marshman's going to throw. He fires to Tegan Wilk, and Wilk tries to break out of a tackle, does so, and then is hit hard and dropped about the 13-yard line.
Chase Coombs had him wrapped and then just couldn't hold him. But by the time he breaks free, other tacklers are coming over. Wilkes will get about 6 on that.
3rd down and 3, Berwick from their 13-yard line. Clock running, 2:23 to go in the half. Score tied at 7. Marshman out of the gun, Shoemaker to his left. And flag down on the play.
Didn't see who threw it.
Ooh, offside against Valley View.
Probably in the neutral zone.
Significant penalty because it is a Berwick first down out at the 18-yard line.
Second one we've seen that's been blown dead where people are just in the neutral zone once they take their position. Valley View still playing well off the receivers. Berwick may continue with these quick now patterns.
Marshman, play action, back to throw. Looking long for Tegan Wilk over the shoulder, just beyond his reach at the 42-yard line. Ball thrown up there beautifully by Jared Marshman.
He needed to kick it into one more gear, Jim, and if he could, he would have kick-stepped away from the defender as well and taken it the length of the field. Ball played very nicely by Marshman. Either he has to give it a little bit more air to come down, or Tegan Wilk's got to speed up that game just a little bit. Beautiful looking play, but one long incomplete.
2nd down and 10. 2:05 to go in the half. Berwick with the ball at their own 18-yard line. Slot to the left. Wilk is wide to the right. Shoemaker gets the call on the ground. He's got some room this time. Stumbles a bit as he gets over the 25 out near the 27-yard line.
Tripped up, it looked like, by the defensive end who won't turn and show me his number. There we go. It's actually the linebacker, Sam Pitzman, who was able to get in that C gap and trap him.
3rd and 1. Berwick, 9 yards on the carry by Shoemaker. He'll get it again. He'll look for the first down yardage and doesn't appear to have it off that left side.
I was marking the play. He pounded off his left side. Again, Valley View offensively has been winning the battle in the trenches, and here it looks like they won it defensively. Not enough surge by the Berwick offensive line. They're going to have to send their punting unit in.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Berwick not able to make it. And they'd be advised to use as much clock as they can right now.
Yeah, even to the point of waiting for 1 second and using the timeout. 20 seconds on the play clock, 1:06 left to go.
Valley View figures to get good field position. Charkuski back to punt. Back at the 13-yard line, awaiting the snap of Lanning. Good snap. Kick is away. Nice high kick. Coombs fair catch at the Valley View 40-yard line. So that's where the Cougars will have it with 49.3 seconds to go in the half. Score tied at 7. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
And Berwick could have taken another 7 or 8 seconds off the clock, but they didn't. These are high school guys. Wasn't pleased with the fair catch signal. It was sort of a herky-jerky hand up to the shoulder and back down. I mean, the fair catch has to be seen by the defense coming down. They recognized fair catch because the man didn't run.
1st and 10. Cougars from their own 40-yard line. Fuller out of the gun. High snap, but he gets the ball off to Vernon off the right side. Seth Vernon will get out to about the 44-yard line.
Give them about 4 on that with the clock still running. They may be just as happy to let this half run out. They're not a team that's going to go 2 minutes real passing.
They will get the football also to start the second half. Sometimes that figures into your thinking as it looks like they're going to let this half wind down. 20 seconds to go as Connor Judge, the center, over the football at the 45-yard line and flagged out of the play.
They ran a man out of the huddle right off the field, Jim. So there's 12 men in the huddle. And it's deceptive. You think it's a receiver, you think you got to split out and cover him, then all of a sudden he goes. So Chuck Supon, seeing that, now he's waved it off. You know what it was? There was 11 men. He ran out of the huddle thinking he was a 12th, ran off the field. Well, now, the whistle blows it dead. They admit a mistake, and they're going to give them their play, but they're not going to run a play.
If you want to play with 10, knock yourself out.
Go ahead.
That is the end of the first half of play. This District 2 Quad A championship game. Berwick 7, Valley View 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Reds Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Reds Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Reds Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 60 years of service, can handle all of your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete and lightweight block. They have front end discharge trucks for ready-mix concrete. Riverview Block also carries all masonry supplies, sand and gravel. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block, 752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They're more than a bank. They're your neighbors. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
When the music stops.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick. We're at halftime of this District 2 Quad A championship game. Berwick and Valley View locked in a 7-7 tie. The winner of this game is not only the district champion, but they'll advance into the second round of the state playoffs to take on the District 12 champion. That game being played in Philadelphia tonight. Last score we had was at halftime. A 13-7 lead for Imhotep Charter over Cardinal O'Hara. Here it is 7-all. Berwick got off to a great start, took the opening kickoff, and put together a 9-play, 74-yard scoring drive, capped on an 8-yard touchdown run by Owen Shoemaker, his 11th rushing touchdown of the season. He has done all the ball carrying for Berwick in the opening half from that running back position, that is, because of the injury to Evan Klinger. Klinger has played strictly on the defensive side of the football. Biggest play on that 9-play scoring drive for Berwick was a 36-yard pass completion from Jared Marshman to Damon Beckhorn. So it's 7-0 Berwick, and that's how it stood into the second quarter. And then a big turnaround in the game. Jared Marshman completed a pass to Tegan Wilk to the Valley View 38-yard line. So Berwick possibly getting in position to go up by 2 touchdowns. But Wilk fumbled the football after the reception. Trayon Jones recovered for the Cougars at the Bulldog 38. And from there, Valley View put together a 7-play, 62-yard scoring drive. Seth Vernon had the longest play along the way, a 14-yard run. Also aided by a face mask penalty against the Bulldogs that kept the drive alive. Eventually, Vernon finished it off with a 2-yard run for the score, his 24th rushing touchdown of the season. Matt Cesarini kicked the extra point. That was with 9:55 to go in the half, and that would be all the scoring for the first half. We are not at Berwick 7, Valley View 7. Stay with us. We'll have scores of other playoff games, and we'll have the stats with Andy Lickney. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Hogs Hollow Saloon is the place to get the area's most popular barbecue. All house smoked daily. Smoked pulled pork, ribs, beef brisket, jumbo wings, chicken, and more. Hogs Hollow Saloon is bringing entertainment back to the area 3 nights a week. National tribute bands, local bands, and Wednesday night open mics. Inside dining, outdoor dining on the deck, entertainment inside and out. Be sure to grab the area's original Orange Crush. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 between Berwick and Orangeville. Check them out on Facebook.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safe Light, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, SafeLight has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want SafeLight, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelight.com.
The Classic Rock Channel. 103.5.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog Football.
Taking a look at the high school football playoff scoreboard this evening in a District 4 Class AA Finals, second quarter. Southern Columbia leads Mount Carmel 14-7. In District 12 Quad A Final, Imhotep Charter leads Cardinal O'Hara 21-7 now in the third. In first round state playoff games tonight, Class AA, Dunmore leads Newport 14-0 in the second. Class AAA, Loyal Sock trails Scranton Prep 17-14 in the second. Class 5A, Wyoming Valley West leads Whitehall 10-7 in the second. And in Class 6A, Delaware Valley and State College are scoreless in the second quarter. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Good crowd here. Crispin Field being entertained at halftime by the Valley View Marching Band. 7-7 our score. Berwick and Valley View in this District 2 Quad A Final. Stats from the first half, Andy Lickney.
Well, in a game where it looks like Valley View has the momentum and has been outplaying Berwick of late, Berwick still has the advantage in total offense, 126 yards to 115. But the scary part is the running game of Valley View. And right now, Berwick does not have the solution. Grateful for halftime to see what type of strategic moves they can make. Is it things of strategy? Is it things of playing a little more high-risk defense? The things of getting different people in different positions? They have to decide that in the half house, because right now in the first half, the running game of Valley View Cougars, since about midway through the first quarter, has looked unstoppable. In that running game, 117 yards. Valley View is only 1 of 2 passing. They don't pass all that often. 2 attempts, 1 complete. And the 1 complete was a screen that lost 2 yards. They don't count on that. They count on an unstoppable running game, and right now it looks unstoppable. And Berwick needs to solve the problem of how to stop it, or they're going to go on to defeat. Tailback Seth Vernon has come as advertised. Averages 116 yards a game. He has 55 yards here at halftime on 11 carries. He has the speed. He has the burst. We've seen his speed deceive Berwick. Just runs some pure pitch sweeps, and all of a sudden he has the corner, and Berwick wonders how he got out there so fast. He also has the speed on straight-ahead plays. If he gets that seam, he's bursting on through. So first key, stop Seth Vernon, who has 55 yards here at halftime, and the touchdown for the Valley View Cougars. Mason Cordish has alternated a little bit with him. In for 4 carries, he has 18 yards. Fullback Sam Pitzman has 17 yards on 3 carries. And then it's quarterback Chandler Fuller. He's been a thorn in Berwick's side. 7 carries for 27 yards. Often by design, in shotgun, gets the snap, bursts the middle, or bursts out wide. Been doing a very nice job as a sort of a change-up type of runner. 27 yards for the quarterback on 7 carries. In all, Valley View has 117 yards. It's a methodical, in-your-face, power type of game. Excellent blocking up front, excellent blocking from backs to the receivers, and tough running by the running backs, and that's a formula for victory. Right now, they have Berwick tied 7-7, but they have the seeming momentum on their side, seeming to dominate the line of scrimmage right now, in my view, as they take on Berwick. Berwick has more yardage, 126 compared to the 115 for the Cougars. They have 57 on the ground and 67 in the air, which is a nice balance. But they did fumble one away, a drive killer at that. In the running game, we did not expect to see Evan Klinger. He's playing defensively, and his presence has been manifest. You can see him coming up and making a lot of the hits that Berwick was hoping he'd be able to make from safety position. It's been Owen Shoemaker, though, in the backfield carrying the load. 10 carries for Owen Shoemaker, 47 hard-earned yards. He has Berwick's touchdown. Damon Beckhorn has been a good change of pace back for Berwick when they've had down and distance to work with. 3 carries for 20 yards for him. Midway through the half, they put him in the Wildcat, and he made some very nice runs from that position. I'd expect to see it again in the second half. Jared Marshman, he was sacked on one occasion. We know that this team likes to come at people. Kyle Swalinski last year was a leading sacker on this team. He got his sack in the first half, and Jared Marshman lost 10 yards on that. So while Berwick had 67 positive yards rushing, minus the 10 of the sack, a net of 57 yards at halftime. Passing, I have Marshman at 6 of 11, no interceptions at 69 yards. He's hit only 2 of his receivers, Damon Beckhorn and Tegan Wilk. Very dangerous and good speed. He's been just off the fingertips of a couple other plays that could have gone for touchdowns. Mostly, though, throwing the now pass. Get it and now throw it right at the line of scrimmage as people are playing well off Damon Beckhorn and Tegan Wilk. Beckhorn has 3 catches for 50 yards. The longest was a post down the middle for 36 yards. Tegan Wilk has 3 catches, all of them under 10 yards. Total of 19 yards for him. So for Berwick, 69 in the air, 57 on the ground, 126 in total offense. And that leads to 115 that Valley View has in total offense. But Berwick's 1 fumble, a bit of a turning point. I think the other turning point against Valley View, though, some key penalties along the way. They've had some impact and might have stalled their drives a little bit. Jim, a fascinating first half. You see it as I do that Valley View's running seems unstoppable right now?
It does, but you say unstoppable. They have 7 points on the board. They have a nice number, especially when you consider what Berwick has given up on the season. I think there's basis for optimism in both locker rooms right now. For Valley View, I'm thinking we can run on this team. We have more yardage now in the half than they usually give up in a game, so that's a positive. For Berwick, 2 things. You mentioned Damon Beckhorn out of that Wildcat. That's going to be there. It's just the timing and the place where it goes. The other thing is Berwick's very close to connecting on some big pass plays, and that's there.
I felt that as well. I think part of it is going to be time of possession. The high school game goes extremely fast, and when a team can't control it on the ground, as we're seeing Valley View do, It's a question of how many opportunities does Berwick have, and they've been pinned in deep with punts or with punts and penalties, and that makes it sometimes a little hard to operate. Valley View will be receiving the first half kickoff. So field position, down in distance, time-consuming drives, all factors. I think any mistake, whether it be a penalty or a turnover, is going to be exaggerated in its impact in this game. And we may come down to a field goal being the winning points, and both teams with nice kickers.
Berwick and Valley View locked in a 7-7 tie. Cougars about to make their appearance on the far side of the field. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Being in business for over 100 years really means something. It means you've been putting out an excellent product and taking care of your customers so they want to come back. Daylo's Bakery, Berwick, falls into that special group of businesses. Oven fresh pizza, bread and rolls. Order extra pizza for a fast dinner when the party arrives. Open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit Daylo's Bakery at 1201 Fries Avenue, Berwick, or call 752-4519.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
The compassionate funeral directors at the James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services provides individualized funeral services designed to meet the needs of your family. The staff of devoted professionals will assist you in making funeral service arrangements and guide you through this difficult time in your life. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Market Street, Berwick, wishing Bulldog players and families the best of luck during this season.
Congratulations to the Berwick Bulldogs from Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. And listen to this. Murad is back at the Ford store. You've dealt with him in the past, and now he's back with great deals on the complete line of Ford cars and trucks, like the Focus, Edge, or Escape, to the Expedition. And don't forget the F-150 trucks at Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. Go Bulldogs!
That's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Bulldogs of Berwick make their way on this the near side of the field. We're minutes away from the kickoff to start the second half. At stake, the District 2 Class A, Quad A, championship. Score tied, Berwick 7 and Valley View 7. The winner of this game will advance into the state playoffs. I mentioned earlier there are 3 rounds of games in the district, so essentially, besides being a district championship game, this is also a first-round state playoff game. So into that second round, the winner of this game will go to take on the winner of tonight's District 12 final. That's the Philadelphia area. And they're now in the fourth quarter with Imhotep Charter leading Cardinal O'Hara by a score of 21-7. And chances are we've been in touch with District 2 Chairman Frank Majikis here tonight, and he said in all likelihood that game next week will be played somewhere in the Allentown area. So a championship at stake, Berwick and Valley View. The impressive thing about both these teams is not only are they very good, but they're not particularly old. There's a lot of key players on both sides playing key roles. Berwick, for instance, comes into a district championship game starting a 9th grader at one defensive end and a sophomore at the other. Valley View has only 8 seniors among their 22 starters. So these teams will be back. But right now, a second half of football to be played with the score tied at 7. Valley View is going to get the football and move from our right to our left.
Berwick really doesn't want to have to kick the ball off to Seth Vernon. And yet he's parallel with the kicker down that far hash mark. Marshman ideally would like to put it into the end zone for his 23rd touchback of the season. But on colder nights, that ball gets much more like a rock, and it's harder and harder to do. So the kickoff probably going to dictate some field position here.
Marshman is handed the football. What a great crowd on hand, as you would expect for this district final. Vernon can really turn on the Jets. Chris Coombs, another speedster, is deep there for Valley View, so we'll see how Berwick plays on this second half kickoff as the senior Ken Marshman gets the signal from the officiating crew, and his kick is very, very high, and it will be fielded by Coombs at the 8-yard line to the 10, the 15 to the 20, the 25 to the 30, the 35, and Chris Coombs over the 40 out to the 42-yard line. So Vernon did not get the ball. Chris Coombs did, and a terrific run back for him.
Came on up the middle, found that lane that someone left, got pushed out, a little too much of a seam. Jimmy LeGrand back with kicker Kenny Marshman, eventually bringing him down.
The line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line. That's where the Cougars will put it in play. An I formation behind the quarterback, Chandler Fuller. The call goes to Sam Pitzman, the fullback. He tries the right side, nothing there. Berwick closes quickly.
They went to the fullback rather than having him lead the blocking, a quick hitting play as they felt Berwick might key through to the tailback. But Berwick met things at the line of scrimmage, created stalemates, and then brought it down. So a defensive win right there for Berwick.
Dylan Hwanitz, the sophomore son of head coach George Hwanitz, wide to the right side. I formation. Cordish is the tailback. Flags and whistles blow things in.
Chuck Supon, the referee, probably seeing movement against Valley View, 5 yards back. For a team that really likes to run, that offensive running philosophy, penalties can be killers. And that's a critical penalty for a team that wants to establish a drive on the ground.
Dom Lupini in there is blocking back for the Cougars as they face a second down and 13 at their own 40-yard line early here in the third quarter with the score tied at 7. Fuller under center with an I formation behind him. Second and long call. Gives the ball off the right side. Cordish will get to about the 44-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down and long as number of subs come on for Valley View. Malik McMillan will come on for Berwick.
Trying to pound off the right side. They have size there. Mike Sebastianelli is 250 pounds as guard. Brian Durkin's a 270-pounder. So the mindset of going with big physical players and big physical play hasn't panned out in this drive as they're set up in a passing situation here.
Third down and 8. Cougars from their 45. Fuller out of the gun. He's going to run the football, and he fakes to the 50-yard line. The ball is loose. The scramble is on, and Berwick's on it. Berwick's on it, the first turnover of the game for Valley View.
Evan Klinger tripped the man up, and then I lost track of the play, Jim. As they're finishing off the tackle, the ball is punched loose. It comes back toward Evan Klinger, who's upfield. I did not see. We'll have to get the number of the person who made the recovery. As we mentioned, turnovers can be critical. Valley View just turned it over there.
It was Mason Lawbaugh on that recovery for the Bulldogs, so the ninth grader gives the Dogs a first down at the Valley View 48-yard line to start this second half. Their first possession, 10-11 to go in the third. Score tied at 7. Out of the Wildcat, Beckhorn will keep the football. He's bounced back, and he'll get just to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Exactly as you said, Jim. He ran up to the center. Defenders were there. They kind of gave him a little bump. He pushed back like bumper cars, tried left, tried right, nowhere there, and just cut his loss to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10. Berwick from the Valley View 48. Marshman gives the ball to Shoemaker. Shoemaker straight ahead. Will get maybe a yard on the play. They blew it dead as he gets ahead for a few more, but he will not get those. So it's third down coming for the Bulldogs at the 46. Third down and 8 in Valley View territory.
Both teams have seen ineffective runs in their first two downs of the drive and then being set up in a passing situation. Berwick, the stronger of the passing teams with better field positions there across midfield.
Now the Referee Chuck Supon indicates an official's timeout.
Trying to see if they're tending to a player. Or
yes, there is a player tying his shoe for Valley View. So 3rd down and 8. Berwick will have a little more time to think about this. Alex Parks will be a wide receiver to the right. Damon Beckhorn in the slot to the right. Bulldogs' first 3rd down situation of this 3rd quarter with the score tied at 7. Marshman out of the gun. They're coming on a blitz. Marshman has time. Fires over the middle. Has his man, Alex Parks, to the 25. Breaks the tackle to the 20. Fumbles the football. Scrambles off the 16-yard line. Valley View may have the football.
Berwick players look frustrated. Valley View's pointing, and now the officials point. They do. They ran a lot of people out. Valley View was backpedaling, giving ground, and they threw a more shallow post well in front of the safety. It was caught. And then as Alex Parks kept fighting and fighting for more yardage, they eventually collapsed on him and stripped the ball away, and they take it away. So a fine completion to get the yardage. Berwick would have been inside the red zone, but a fumble after the Valley View fumble.
So the teams exchanged turnovers, 29 yards on that pass play, as we have a stoppage of play. As Beckhorn came out with an injury, they will tend to him on the sideline. As Valley View has it at their own 17-yard line with a first down. Score tied at 7, 8:52 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, Miss Beckhorn defensively, as he can often sheet up and make some plays and tackles for losses.
From the 17, I formation. Cordish gets the call off the right side, and he gets over the 20, out to the 21-yard line, picks up about 4 on the play.
A little too much. Berwick's got to play it a little stronger at the point of attack. Keegan Will comes up, makes a hit. Evan Klinger comes over and makes a hit. But those guys are the last line of defense. You've got to do it up sooner.
Checking that Berwick secondary to see who has replaced Damon Beckhorn. Is 2nd down and 7 for the Cougars at their 21. Cordish is the tailback in the I formation.
Anthony Barada's in there, Jim.
As the call goes to Cordish off the left side. Good effort by him over the 25 out to the 27-yard line for a first down.
Looked like he was stopped, and then at the last minute he put sort of a dive forward enough to get the chains. That's a very successful run for his team.
Damon Beckhorn is on his feet as we look down below us. Not sure the extent of the injury. 1st and 10, Valley View at their own 27-yard line. Power I to the right side. Give on the play is to Cordish. Cordish has some running room over the 30. Out to the 33, 6 yards on a first down carry. And Beckhorn is back on his feet and coming out. Joe Norse will come in defensively as well for the Bulldogs.
Antonio Barada played in there and survived those plays. They ran away from him. Normally, teams would like to go at the area where an injured player has left, tap the substitute, but they ran counter that.
2nd down and 4. Valley View from their 33. Power I to the left side. Cordish the call off the right side. He will not get the first down. Comes a couple of yards short. 3rd and short coming for Valley View. Blaine Cleaver and Chase Struther enter the game for the Bulldogs. 3rd down and a yard from the 36.
Their quarterback sneak was powerfully effective in the first half, Jim. I'd expect to see it again. They're power I, though, and they like to run that.
3rd down, a yard to go. Quarterback keeper, Fuller off the right side, gets the push from behind and should have the first down.
We mentioned the big right side of the line. Sebastian Ellie and Durkin, both at around 260 pounds at an average. He went that way, and then the 2 upbacks in the power I, giving the push from behind. No problem in making that quarterback sneak.
They needed 1. They got 3. 1st and 10, Cougars at their 39. Both teams have turned it over here in the 3rd quarter. Score remains tied at 7. Clock running, 6:20 to go in the period. Fuller under center. Coombs goes in motion. The call goes to fullback Pitzman, and he goes for maybe a yard straight ahead.
Damon Beckhorn sliding down hard from the outside after the interior of the line stalls things up. I don't think if I had this system, I'd run Sam Pitzman as much as they're running him. Tough linebacker, good blocker, but I don't think you're surprising Berwick. Their basic power runs well through the tailbacks. Here the Pitzman run just gets about 1.5 yards.
Cornish remains the tailback. 2nd down and 8. Cougars for the 41. Fuller gives to Cornish. He's hit behind the line. And we dropped for a loss of play. Great penetration that time by the 9th grader.
Yep. You need those 9th graders in there. Blaine Cleaver from linebacker went shooting through the beacon. Caught the man who was sweeping his side and took the legs out from under him. Berwick needs some impact plays, and there's one.
Blaine Cleaver is at a linebacker. Mason Wallbaugh, defensive end. 2 9th graders in this defensive unit for Berwick in the Quad A District 2 championship game with under 5 minutes to go in the third, and the score tied at 7.
Passing situation, watch for Chandler Fuller. He likes to run, though, too.
No wide receivers. Fuller gives the ball to Vernon, coming around the right side. Vernon tripped up over the 45 to 46-yard line. Tegan Wilk makes the tackle. Boy, anytime that guy gets it, it is dangerous. He was lined up to the left, came around, took the handoff, but Wilk keeps him short of the sticks by about 3 yards, and the punt team on for Valley View.
Berwick making sure that that's the punt team coming on before they get their changes in there. Valley View set the punt, but they've shown some risky behavior. An onside kick, maybe a fake punt coming.
Tegan Wilk, Damon Beckhorn deep for the Bulldogs. High snaps. Walensky pulls it down and gets the kick away. And Berwick will hopefully stay away from it as the ball is down at the 33-yard line. So not a long punt, and the Bulldogs will take over with 4:04 to go in the third quarter. And it's Valley View 7 and Berwick 7.
And it's a situation where Berwick now needs to take advantage. They have nice field position, need to take some deep breaths. They have the weapons. The running game is solid enough to make things happen, whether you're seeing Wildcat, whether you're seeing Owen Shoemaker in a standard backfield. And there's openings in the passing game. There have been a lot of close calls on deep passes. They need to connect with one, and the underneath passes are still there as well. Get them at the line of scrimmage and let them run.
Marshman out of the gun. He has Beckhorn to his right and Shoemaker to his left. Has the shotgun snap. Play action, back to throw. Fires, has his man. A completion for just a yard or two as Valley View swarms to the football. Pitzman among the people tackling Joe Norris. The tight end will pick up 2 on the completion to the 35, 2nd and 8.
2 to 3. I'm surprised it got that much. He was at left tight end. At the snap, came behind the line of scrimmage, took a little dump pass on the right side.
Now a tight formation that gives to Shoemaker off the left side of the 40. The 45 to midfield. The 40. The 35 to 30. Oh, and Shoemaker is going to go in for Berwick touchdown. 65 yards.
Wow. Wow. He showed tremendous speed. Mason Cordage and Chase Combs were chasing him, and he just kept extending things. They were like split safeties. He comes up the middle and splits them. They turn and chase and look like they're going to be able to do it. Normally, defensive backs can get that angle. But Owen Shoemaker with tremendous acceleration, motivation to get to that end zone, puts it in hyperdrive and scores.
His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, his 11th on the season. Now Ken Marshman will try to tack on the extra point out of the hold of Evan Klinger. Landing snap is a good one. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 3:25 remaining third quarter. Berwick 14, Valley View 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
KFAB Incorporated, a fabricating and machining company in Berwick, has openings for the following full-time positions: welders, machinists, general maintenance, and laser operators. Positions are available on all 3 shifts with paid training and 50-cent shift differential. KFAB benefits include medical, dental, vision, paid vacation, as well as a 401k plan with company match. Apply online at kfabinc.com or in person at KFAB Inc., 1411 North Vine Street, Berwick.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Owen Shoemaker with an electrifying 65-yard touchdown run gives Berwick the lead, 14-7, 3:25 to go in the third. And it was interesting. Berwick has spread out so much in offense. That time they were real tight formation, like it was a 3rd and 1 instead of a 2nd and 7.
It was.
And Shoemaker got through there and, as you mentioned, showed some great speed.
He'll be thanking his center, Noah Craig, and the guards flanking him, Tom Monaco and Mike Salutko. They opened the seam. The linebackers were somehow covered or out of position.
Marshman's kick will come up short. Coombs at the 16-yard line to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, and another good run back by Chris Coombs, his second of this second half. And again, Valley View in good field position near their 43 with 3:19 to go in the third, and Berwick with that 14-7 advantage.
Ryan Lawbong getting the dive at him to knock him off balance, but he still stumbles for about 8 yards after that. Might have done better to try to square up or put a more forceful hit.
So the Cougars now with the football in good field position. Fuller will operate out of the gun with a slot to the right side. As the snap, back to throw. Plenty of time. Now it breaks down. He's going to run with the football, and he's going to be dropped at the 46-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 on the scramble.
Ben Peck was the man who was able to wrap him, but Berwick contained him. Defensive ends didn't allow him wide. He committed up the middle rather early in the pass look. Linebackers came up. Peck came doubling on back down, and they keep him to a 3-yard gain.
2nd down and 7. Cougars at their 46-yard line. Wide receiver to the right. I formation. Fuller gives the ball to Cordish. He's hit behind the line, breaks free momentarily, then is swarm tackled right about the line of scrimmage. Great defense by the Bulldogs there.
And a flag. We'll see a hold there on the right side, Jim. So Berwick has turned up the intensity defensively. Made the stop despite the hold at the line of scrimmage, but they'll accept that holding penalty to move it 10 yards backfield. I would think they'd accept it.
And walk off against Valley View. We'll take it back to the Cougar 33-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 20.
And that changes things around, Jim. The team that wants to run for this first down is not in comfortable running distance to get this on 2nd and so long.
Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Berwick crowd into it. As Fuller takes the shotgun snap, fires the pass, has a completion for a short gain out to the 36-yard line as Alex Parks puts the big hit on Chase Combs.
Yes, he does. Short pass. He's got about 8 or 9 yards, but this team will still need 16 or more here on 3rd down.
5 yards on the reception by Coombs. 3rd down and long for Valley View. We're under 2 minutes to go in the third. Berwick with the momentum after the touchdown run by Shoemaker. Now the crowd into it, looking for a stop here. Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Fuller out of the gun. Pittsman in motion to the right side. Fuller will carry it himself. Looks for room, has some, but is brought down as he gets over the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Berwick comfortable in the secondary. Keegan Wilk eyeing him when he commits to the line of scrimmage. Keegan Wilk comes up. Other people in an umbrella there preventing him from getting any more.
9 yards on the carry. 4th down and 6. Valley View Kyle Zolewski back at his 34-yard line. Tegan Wilk and Damon Beckhorn back for Berwick. Long count. Snap is a good one. Zolewski's kick is very, very short. Very, very high. And it will go to the far side, about the 35-yard line. So just 18 yards in the punt. And Berwick takes over with 48.8 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The Bulldogs leading this one 14-7.
I think Berwick would like to start controlling the tempo here. Keep this ball for a nice long drive. Take time off the clock. Get Valley View back on its heels a little bit. There's been a momentum switch since that Owen Shoemaker burst. A big momentum switch it's been.
Shoemaker is out there. He is the tailback in the I formation. Joey Lynn is the fullback ahead of him. Now Lynn shifts to a wing position on the left. And Shoemaker gets the call up the middle, and Shoemaker over the 40, out to the 42-yard line. Good first down carry by Owen Shoemaker.
Joey Lynn came and trapped from the wing-back position on linebacker Robert Sebastianelli. And that opened up the B-gap on the right side, and Owen Shoemaker hit it hard.
Second down and 3. Berwick at their 42-yard line. Perhaps the final play of this third quarter. Again, the I formation. Double tight end alignment. Gives to Shoemaker. Tries the right side, and nothing there. He is met. Second effort. Still will not get the first down on what will be the final play of the third quarter. 3 in the books here at Crispin Field in this District 2 Quad A championship game. Berwick 14, Valley View 7. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Right now in the third quarter, Southern Columbia leads Mount Carmel 21-7. Scranton Prep leads Loyalsock 24-21 the third, and a final. Imhotep over Cardinal O'Hara tonight 40-7. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crespin Field in Berwick. 3 quarters in the books. Berwick trying for the school's first district title since 2014, leading Valley View by a score of 14-7. Berwick, third down and 2 from their own 43-yard line, moving from our right to our left. And the Bulldogs with movement along the offensive front, and they're going to make that third down situation a lot tougher at 3rd and 7.
Yeah, you know, the quarter changes. You have time to look at things. You decide on your play. You're very deliberate. Sometimes it's a good time to change the cadence because you have the whole team there, and you say, hey, guys, we're going on 3. Remember, it's on 3. And then one guy just forgets and automatically breaks his stance and comes very visibly across the line.
3rd down and 7. Berwick. Marshman has the shotgun snap, fires a pass, it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Boy, he had Tegan Wilk open. But one of the Cougars got his hands up there and deflected the pass, and it'll be a punting situation for Berwick.
Penalties are a shame. 3rd and short, position where you're starting to establish some physical dominance. And the penalties hurt. Penalties have hurt Valley View in this game in a number of critical situations. Now that penalty there on 3rd and a long 2, short 3 hurts Berwick's opportunities.
Sharkowski back to punt, standing back at his 24-yard line. Snap is a good one. They're coming hard, but he gets the kick away. Line drive kick. Coombs has to go by him, then he fields it at the 25-yard line. Looks for room, nothing there. Joe Norse, the first one to beat him at the 29-yard line.
Joe Norris certainly did pin him in, but I'm trying to catch. I think it was Owen Shoemaker who really put the lick on him. He forced him inside, And then Shoemaker came with that head of speed and just steamrolled him.
So Valley View with the football, trailing 14-7. Lots of time left, 11:46. They move from our left to our right in this final period.
Berwick's been forcing some impact plays, Jim. They've solved some of this physical dominance of Valley View.
Haven't seen a lot of Vernon, but he's back there now as the tailback, and he gets the call and tries the left side, and Chase Struther wraps him up after a gain of about 2 to the 31-yard line.
Straight Struthers was there, but I'm trying to see who that contained. That was J.J. Snyder, who would not allow it outside of him. He took on all the garbage coming his way, and Jay Struthers slid outside and made the play.
Vernon leaves the offense, heads to the sideline, 2nd down and 8, Valley View from their 31-yard line. Fuller under center. Cordish deep in the backfield as the running back. Fuller back to throw, dumps a pass off to Cordish. Berwick closes quickly, turns the corner, gets out to the 35-yard line. Blaine Cleaver, the 9th grader, got there in a hurry, couldn't quite bring the play down. And Cordish able to pick up about 4. It's a 3rd down situation coming.
He only had 1 reception coming into the game. They threw a screen his way where we lost 2 yards in the first half. And now this little tailback spit pass goes for about 4.
Cleaver comes out of there. Malik McMillan in as an extra defensive back for Berwick on 3rd down and 4.
Keep an eye on the quarterback run, Jim. He's very dangerous.
Slot to the left. Fuller out of the gun. Has the snap. It's a high snap. He's able to get it, but Berwick is all over back on the 26-yard line.
Evan Klinger, designated blitz from the left outside. As a strong safety, he cheated up. Because of down and distance, Berwick smelled pass. He was free to come. He's coming hard. The ball is a high snap. It's being juggled, and by the time the quarterback gets it, he's being wrapped up by Evan Klinger for the sack.
2nd time in this game, the Cougars have been played by a high snap out of the shotgun. Now Zwolinski back to do the punting. His last punt was only 18 yards. He's back at the 14-yard line of the Cougars. Good snap, and he gets the kick away. This is a better kick, and we'll take a good roll where Valley View is concerned, and we'll roll dead at the Berwick 24-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play with 9:37 remaining in the game, and Berwick leading Valley View 14-7.
Came up short, Jim, but then a nice roll, so the deep people unable to come up and make a catch of that in the air. Can't blame them for that, and then the end-over-end type of bounce.
Imhotep Charter, a winner over Cardinal O'Hara, 40-7 in the District 12 championship game. So Imhotep Charter will face the winner of this game tonight, next Friday, somewhere in the Allentown area. Berwick hoping it's them as they have it at their 24-yard line, leading 14-7 here in the 4th. Slot to the right side, rolling right is Marshman, fires to the sideline, pass too high for the intended target. Incompletion at the 30-yard line.
Catchable ball, though, Jim. You want to pull those in. Well, Jared Watts was the target.
But it's a bit high, and then he took a real hit from behind. So
yeah,
we've had a couple of those plays in this game tonight where the ball just sailed a bit on Jared Marshman.
Yeah.
It's unusual.
Rolling and throwing. We don't normally see him doing that. It did sail high.
2nd down and 10 from the 24-yard line. Marshman gives on a draw play to Shoemaker as Zwolinski is all over the play and maybe a yard to the 25-yard line.
3rd and long being set up again. Berwick would like to get some control of this game, get some offense, get a few first downs, take time off that clock, but they're going to have to convert a 3rd and long to do it.
3rd down and 9. Bulldogs, who send 3 receivers to the right. Marshman out of the gun. Has the snap looking to the right. Nothing there. Comes to his left. Backpedals. Now he's in trouble. Going to run with the football and is going to get out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Berwick screaming for a late flag.
I don't think.
It was right in front of Frank Sheptock. Has to be restrained because Marshman was out of bounds. Then the hit came. It wasn't a vicious hit, but it was definitely out of bounds. So 4th down, and the punt team will come on for Berwick.
Yeah, Berwick fans would certainly like it, and there was a little bit of an argument from the coaching staff, but he slowed down on his way out of bounds, and the fact that Berwick knows of his injury to the legs, they don't want to see any hit come down low. I don't know if I'd have thrown the flag.
So the punt by Sharkowski. Punts will be big in this one. 8:51 remaining. Berwick gets the snap from Lanning. It's a good snap, and the kick is away. And a nice kick by Sharkowski. Backpedals Cordish at the 36-yard line. Mason Cordish brought down the 44-yard line. Good coverage downfield. Jimmy LeGrand into the play for the Bulldogs. Ryan Lawbo was there as well.
Jim, got to go back to the long snaps. You know, for most of this season, bad snaps, a long snapping situation like punt has plagued Berwick. Young freshman in there, and Jake Lanning has been spot on with every long snap this game. Hope I don't jinx him by saying that, but give him the credit. He's made Berwick look sharp in these situations.
Berwick leading 14-7, 8:40 remaining in the game. Valley View from their own 44-yard line. Pittsman in motion left to right. Vernon takes a toss sweep to the left side. Berwick has it covered well, and he's brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Played beautifully by the Bulldogs.
Really nice hustle by Blaine Cleaver, Jim. He has that tremendous speed on the outside, and they had a block on Cleaver, blocking him in, but Cleaver fought it off and kept after him. The corner came up to contain, slowed the man down to force him inside, and Cleaver then just ran right over him.
Second down and 10. Valley View at the 44-yard line. Dylan Hawanitz wide to the right side. Fuller will operate out of the gun. They've had a couple of bad snaps. This is a perfect snap as he rolls right to throw. Fires to the sideline, incomplete. Well short of the intended receiver, Dylan Hawanitz at the Berwick 41-yard line.
And he was covered well by Ryan Lawbaugh, who was behind him, keeping the play in front of him. If he was able to cut it off a little sooner and run that comeback, then maybe. But a quarterback who's not as used to passing and throwing on the run, not able to connect.
Third down and 10. Valley View. 7:55 to go in the game. Berwick with a 7-point lead. Line of scrimmage, the Cougar 44-yard line. Trips to the right side. Fuller under center. Straight drop back to throw. Has time. Looking. Fires incomplete. Behind the intended receiver at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, trying to see. Two receivers ended up in the same area. Jaden Duplessis seemed to be the man intended. Might have even hit him in the hand and then gone through that. Near the chains, but incomplete in a punting situation. Team that likes to take chances. You're under 8 minutes. Field position's not great. Keep an eye on it as Berwick has throughout the entire game.
Walensky back to do the punting and a flag down.
Are they counting players?
They are counting the Valley View players.
Maybe waved off. We'll see. Want to make sure they have the right count. Picking it up, and it is 5 yards against Valley View.
We've seen a couple situations this season where the count was wrong.
Yeah.
Flag flew,
yeah.
Counted, 11, okay. But this time, say they have one too many. They're still talking about it, though. It's 4th and 15.
No one left. And they're going to confer on it. Jim, while we do have a little break, I'm not sure if we got picked up by people in the Valley View area. But they have a wonderful fan who follows the games, wanted to be here. An elderly individual, Angelo Pantano. Big-time fan. Hope you got to tune in and follow this one because this team is playing with a lot of heart. They're giving it all they have.
Well, they waved off that flag, so evidently the count was wrong. It's Walensky back at his 31-yard line to do the punting. 4th and 10. Snap is a good one. Kyles Walensky gets kick away. Nice kick.
Yeah.
Very, very high. Berwick will let it bounce. And it will roll dead about the 22-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs will put it in play. Well, what they'd love is a long, time-consuming drive. There's 7:40 remaining in this game. And Berwick leads Valley View by a score of 14-7.
Not a punt you really want to let bounce. It was very, very high. Time to get under it. Berwick had two players within 4 yards of where it hit the ground. Evan Klinger, normally back there, might be the guy who'd take charge in communicating. But it's one that if it hits and bounces another 15 or 20, you've really made a mistake. It hit and bounced sideways, so Berwick not really harmed by letting that one go.
Tegan Wilk wide to the right side, slot to the left. Marshman out of the gun from the 22-yard line. Beckhorn in motion, but the call goes to Shoemaker, and Owen Shoemaker is brought down after a short gain, maybe a yard on the play.
They're tough in the trenches. Defensive tackle, defensive end, give a forearm shiver to the potential blockers. Linebackers come up hard, and there's just no movement, no seam for Owen Shoemaker to run off his left side.
Second down and 9, Berwick from their 23-yard line. Slot to the right side. Tegan Wilk now wide to the left. Marshman has the snap, and he's back to throw, and he fires over the middle, way over the head of his 10 receivers, intercepted. The return down the left side to the 20, and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Jaden Duplessis picks it off. The pass way over the head of the intended receiver.
It was. He wanted to hit that little now route, and he pumped at the line of scrimmage. So sort of a hitch and go, turning into a slant. But whether they miscommunicated or whatever happened, when he went to throw that slant, it's high and it goes right into the stomach of Jaden Duplessis. And that interception has them in the red zone, ready to tie this.
Valley View at the 11-yard line of Berwick. Fuller under center. Gives the ball straight ahead. Verdon inside the 10. About the 9-yard line. Duplessis with the interception, setting up the Cougars, who are threatening to tie it with 6:46 to go. Berwick leading 14-7. Ball at the 7-yard line to pick up a 4, 2nd and 6.
Give him 80 on the game for Vernon. And they're going to keep on feeding the running back. They want to run this in, and they may go for it on 4th down. Well, they will.
Vernon is the tailback, blocking backs to the left. Second down call. He'll go to the left. He's got ahead of Stevens in the end zone for a touchdown. Seth Vernon from 7 yards out. Valley View is an extra point away from tying it with 6:19 to go.
Just power football. Watch Berwick's defensive end get blown off the ball one-on-one by the tight end. At the point of attack, just inside of him, they have double teams. They have power backs coming. No one even touched Vernon as he scampers in for the score.
So the interception leads to the score, and now a big extra point attempt coming by Matt Cesarini to try to tie it. Dylan Hwanitz does the holding. Robert Sebastianelli with the snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. Tied on the field, 6:19 to go. Berwick 14, Valley View 14. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic
Their
Rock.
Cougars have just tied it at 14-all. 6:19 to go in the game. Cam Chakotay will kick off. His kicks have been short. In fact, one was a definite onside attempt. So Berwick has to be wary. As Cam Chakotay approaches the ball. This one's a low line drive kick. He fielded by Beckhorn at the 10-yard line. The return to the 20, and he's buried about the 27-yard line. Andy had said that quarterbacks need to have a very, very short memory. Jared Marshman has to forget about that last pass that he threw.
He does. His first true interception of the year. The other was a receiver's fault. But he has that type of temperament where he's going to have to put it behind him, Jim, and I think the Berwick team's going to need to pass. Valley View's physical. They've made running tough. Yes, Berwick did break the one big long one right up the middle. But as for a sustained running drive, not the case. Marshman's going to have to do it some with his arm. They'll try the run, but they're going to be mixing in the pass.
Slot to the right side. Marshman out of the gun. Gives the ball to Shoemaker. Shoemaker is knocked back after a gain of maybe a yard on the play. Valley View is all over it. We heard so much about the offense of this team as Robert Sebastianelli made the tackle, but this team is a pretty good defensive group as well.
Yeah. These players are rather stout up front. They're physical in the way that they play. They like to scrum on the inside. Linebackers come up hard.
2nd down and 9. Marshman has the snap, and he rolls right, and he fires on the run, and he has his man, Beckhorn, trying to make a man miss. Can't do it. As he gets tackled about the 34-yard line. He picks up about 5 on the completion. 3rd down call coming.
Yeah, 3rd and a little less than 5. A penalty would get this. Valley View's committed some critical penalties along the way. Berwick looking to the sideline to Frank Sheptock for the play.
5:17 to go in the game. Big call coming. 3rd and 4, Berwick. Just short of their own 34-yard line with the score tied. Marshman out of the gun with a slot to his left. He's looking over the middle. There's nothing there. He rolls right. He stops, plants the feet. He throws it into traffic downfield, and it is picked off at the 40-yard line. And the return to the 48-yard line, as making the interception again is Jaden Duplessis.
It was thrown up in the air, and I thought Tegan Wilk had it. He thought he had it as well, but Jaden Duplessis just had it with a somewhat simultaneous possession. He out-wrestled Tegan Wilk, spun the ball away, and then returned with it.
So Jaden Duplessis with 2 interceptions here in the second half. 4:56 to go. Valley View in business at their 48-yard line with the score tied at 14. I formation. Getting the call. Vernon, he'll get just to midfield. Berwick swarms to the football.
They need to make the plays, and
Alex
they know.
Parks among the people in on the play for the Bulldogs holds it to a 2-yard pickup. 2nd down and 8.
Jimmy LeGrand also involved, coming up cheering. They need to make the stop immediately and force the punt.
2nd down and 8. 4:28 remaining in the game. Score tied at 14. Valley View from midfield. Vernon is the tailback in the I formation. Fuller under center. Gives to Vernon, trying the right side. Turns the corner. Nice second effort. Gets him close to the Berwick 45-yard line.
Real nice blocking on the periphery. He has the speed to get it wide, even though it's short side. They bent Berwick in. They got the corner, and they had a convoy leading, who then took on the secondary and pushed them off, just short of the first down, Jim.
3rd down and 1. Valley View at the Berwick 43-yard line. Center Connor Judge over the football. Power I to the left side. Fuller under center. Gives the ball to Cornish off the left side. Has the first down and then some. A great effort to the 33-yard line. He almost broke the big one. Ryan Lawbaugh, a bit shaken up on the play, hanging on to Cornish to prevent the touchdown. He did pick up 10 and a first down.
Lawbaugh had to go helmet to helmet with him to stop him. But again, the power I, and he's deep in the eye. They open up a seam at the line of scrimmage with the linemen. The 2 power backs come barreling through, pick up any trash in there, and there's a seam for that running back to run through.
Mason Cornish is that running back, and he's back there again, and he gets the call, and he tries the middle, and he's got some room. He's inside the Berwick 30 to the 28-yard line. Good first down carry as the clock continues to run. 3:38 remaining in the game.
They're strong. They're physical. Not that many two-way players on this team, so they're still fresh. They're powering it on Berwick as they did at the end of the second quarter. The adrenaline's pumped up. They sense they can take this in.
2nd down and 5. Valley View at the Berwick 28-yard line. Cordish gets the call again, tries the left side, and Cordish will be short of the first down yardage, picked up a couple to the 26-yard line. as Tom Monaco and Chase Struther will check in for Berwick. They mark at the 25-yard line, so it's third down and a short 2.
They've been powering. They're running the left side, hitting the B gap, but they're pulling the right guard, Mike Sebastianelli, to lead up that hole. And all that power going through is opening enough of a seam for the tough running back to get yardage.
Third down and 2 from the Berwick 25. Fuller gives the ball to Cordish. Cordish looks for the first down yardage. He's very close.
Close and may have. It'll depend upon the spot. Hard to see exactly where he landed. He felt he had it. Instead of the B gap, they came in a little tighter toward the center that time. Thought he had a little bit more room. Jim, they're eyeballing it and saying it's fourth down. Berwick has to get his defense off.
And the clock is running. Fourth down, less than a yard. Quarterback keeper by Fuller. They're pushing him from behind, and he has the first down.
They're allowed that push now. They've looked extremely strong on their quarterback sneaks. Berwick more worried about getting players off the field and really getting down and root hogging in their stances. Might have been best to try a timeout there since they weren't quite ready for the play, and it was a very critical play.
1:59 remaining in the game. Clock begins to run. Score is tied at 14. Valley View at the Berwick 22-yard line.
Field goal will win it for them. They'll keep it on the ground.
Power eye to the right. Cordish is the tailback. He gets the call, tries that right side. Berwick's all over the play. He'll lose yardage back to the 43. Eric Montez, the sophomore defensive end, in on the play for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he came from the far side and chased the play down, caught it in the backfield, and will drop it for 1 yard. Every yard critical when a field goal can win this.
Second down and 11. Valley View at the Berwick 23. Clock running, 1:13 remaining. All the timeouts left for Valley View. They're not going to use one here. Second and 11. Bernard is in there as the tailback in the eye. Fuller under center. Gives to Bernard off the left side. Tries to get outside. He's cut down in the open field. Terrific tackle by Alex Parks.
This is a team that's had effectiveness in sweeping. They managed to sort of lure you inside with the running back.
And they're letting the clock run inexplicably. They're not using timeouts. Third down and 10. They have 3 timeouts remaining, and they're not using them.
This doesn't make sense.
I don't understand this at all.
Maybe they're unaware of the clock.
23
they better
seconds
watch
to go.
They don't run out of time.
From the 22-yard line. A fumble on the play. The scramble is on at the 16-yard line. Berwick's on the football with 11 seconds to play.
The team was hurrying when it didn't have to hurry if they had used the timeout, Jim. They've been pulling their right guard, Mike Sebastianelli, on a lot of these power plays. The big problem was clock management. The clock was running and running down under 30 seconds. They were in a 3rd and 10, which they were going to make. They should have taken a timeout to consider, take their time. Why put them in their pocket? It made no sense. They end up hurrying the play, worried. The team is worried. They may not get a chance to kick the field goal, even though it would be relatively long. So hustling the play, there's a mistake in the timing where the right guard is pulling behind the center. He bumps into the quarterback, knocks the ball forward toward the defense, and Berwick recovers.
Now with just 11 seconds to go, Berwick, I think, will take a knee, and we will go into overtime.
Cool.
That is what Jared Marshman will do.
Inexplicable, though, Jim.
4 quarters complete in this District 2 Quad A championship game. Berwick 14, Valley View 14. We'll be back with the overtime. You're listening to Bulldogs Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 118 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, every step of the way.
Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big-time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Custom-built LED signs, vehicle graphics, custom wraps, banners, screen printing, mugs, t-shirts, business signs, magnets, hats, embroidery, stand-ups, indoor signage, and custom car accents. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Family-owned and operated since the turn of the century. All work is produced in-shop. DeFevo does not sell products that they do not make, and that equals quality control. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel on Route 11 between Bloomsburg and Berwick at 7553 Columbia Boulevard or online at defevographics.com.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
If you're considering any type of construction project, call Fenstermacher Construction at 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction specializes in new home construction, roofing, siding, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, additions, and garages. They have over 10 years experience in the home building industry, and they are licensed and insured. For quality and reliable service, call 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction, proud to sponsor the Berwick Bulldogs in the playoff series.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Captains meeting at the center of the field as they did 2 hours ago. We are about to go overtime to decide this District 2 Quad A championship game. Berwick and Valley View locked in a 14-14 tie. Rather bizarre ending as things were happening fast. Jade Duplessis intercepted a Jared Marshman pass at the 48-yard line, and then Valley View went on a long drive, got to the Berwick 22-yard line where they faced 3rd and 10, but they had 3 timeouts left, and they didn't use any of them, and they ended up hurrying the play and fumbling the football. Berwick took over, ran out the clock, and now we're going into overtime.
George Hwanitz probably will double think whatever he was thinking. We're not sure if he lost track of the clock. Coaches, his assistants should have helped him along there. Definitely should have used timeouts to slow the tempo, make sure of everything they're doing. They're close enough for a field goal attempt that would have won the game, even on 3rd and 9. But they ended up hurrying things, which caused the fumble in my mind. What we'll see now is the high school overtime rule. Berwick will be on offense first because Valley View won the toss and chose defense. It's advantageous to go second on offense. It's as if you had a scrimmage situation where you brought the ball to the 10-yard line and it's 1st and 10. Everything goes, you get as many points as you can.
Marshman under center. Toss sweep left side to Shoemaker. He's hit hard as he gets to about the 8-yard line.
So 2 yards toward the goal or so. Again, you'll have 2nd, 3rd, and then 4th down, and on 4th down you can opt for the field goal. You get as many points as you can until your series of down ends, and then the opposition tries to match or top you.
2nd and goal, Berwick at the 8-yard line. Play action. Marshman back to throw. Big pass rush. He's going to keep the football, and he's going to be down about the 5-yard line. Marshman wanted to throw, scrambles to the 5. 3rd down and goal, Berwick.
3rd and goal from the 5. So Berwick in a run-pass option here will try to get the 6-point touchdown. They'd be allowed then for a kick or a PAT. If they don't get it here, they'll probably opt for a field goal.
Shoemaker's the running back. A fake to him. The inside handoff to Wilk. He is going to be brought down. That's Beckhorn right at the line of scrimmage. They faked the sweep to Shoemaker. Inside handoff to Beckhorn, but the Cougars were all over it. And now the field goal unit will come on for Berwick.
Yes, it will. They'll try to get the 3 points to go ahead. After that, it'll turn around. Valley View will attack this same end zone from the 10-yard line with their series of downs. If they get to a 3rd down and they don't have it in, they can opt to try to tie it or go for it on 4th down.
Marshman, Ken Marshman, 7 for 7 in field goals this season. The hold by Klinger will be at the 12. 22-yard field goal attempt. Angle to the right. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Ken Marshman gives Berwick the lead in overtime, but now Valley View will have it at the 10, and a touchdown will win the game for them.
Each team is awarded one timeout within each series of sets of downs. So both Valley View and Berwick will have a timeout if they choose to use it. Berwick will be on defense now as Valley View's offense will take it from the 10-yard line. They're going to try to win the game, to get more than the 3 points that Berwick got, to beat the 17-14 score that's there now. If they get to a third down situation, they'll have a choice. Do they want to attempt the field goal, or will they, try for a fourth down and win it so they can go to tie or win? Any type of turnover will end the game. If Berwick can create that, of course, penalties or big plays pushes them back and makes the field goal harder.
Seth Vernon is the tailback in the I formation. Chandler Fuller under center. Cougars move from our right to our left. Lupini goes in motion to the right. The toss sweep is to the right with Vernon trying to get outside. Berwick strings it out, and he will be brought down at the 11-yard line. Loss of a yard in the play. Bulldogs really ran to the football.
Evan Klinger took on a double team as they tried to kick him out. He would not. They could not get around him. They could not get inside him. Despite the double team blocking him, he was part of that tackle. Tremendous defensive play.
And despite the bad ankle.
Oh, yeah.
Second down and goal. Valley View at the Berwick 11. We're in overtime. Touchdown will win it for the Cougars. Berwick up by 3, hoping for the stand. That'll give them the district title. Fuller under center. Fuller gives the ball off the left side, a running play that gets just to the 10-yard line.
Damon Beckhorn unblocked, even though they went power I and came at that side. The target on the left was going to be the B gap. Berwick stuffed the B gap, forced the runner to go wide, and Damon Beckhorn standing there makes the tackle.
Third and goal, Valley View at the Berwick 10-yard line. Cougars try for a touchdown and win it. They don't make it here. They'll have a decision to make.
Interception will end it.
Fuller out of the gun, has the snap, rolls right, looking to throw, looking, fires a pass on the far side. It's incomplete, almost intercepted in the game.
Damon Beckhorn had it thrown at his number. It was the bottom of the 3, and it let it slip away. Now it comes down to the field goal attempt to tie it on the season. Their long kicker, Cam Cicciotti, is 3 of 4 in field goals.
But this is Matt Cesarini. He will be kicking. He's got 1 field goal on the season. This hold will be at the 17, and Berwick will use the timeout.
Raise him.
27-yard field goal attempts will be coming by Matt Cesarini to tie the score and send it into the second overtime. If he fails, Berwick is the district champion. If he kicks it through, we will go into another overtime.
If Beckhorn held that one that was thrown in his belly on the previous play, it's over, and you don't even have this attempt at the kick. In high school, field goal attempts are not automatic by any means. There'll be pressure on him. Cesarini in field goals, just 1 of 1 all season.
Again, the hold at the 17. The holder is Dylan Hawadis. Long snap is important from Robert Sebastianelli. 27-yard field goal attempt by Cesarini. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Cesarini kicks it through. We will go to a second overtime. Score tied at 17.
Same rules. So long as it's tied, you go to a second overtime, to a third, to a fourth. Each team will get its series of downs starting on the 10-yard line. And you try to get as many points as you can. Now I believe it should flip to where Valley View will start offensively, and Berwick will be on defense. going second offensively, as Berwick will have in this new overtime, is advantageous. You know how many points you need. If you hold them to no points, all you need is a field goal to win. You hold them to 3, or if you have to make 7, you know what you have to do. Are they switching sides of the field?
You know, in Berwick's case, if you come to a situation where they hold Valley View and they get the ball, you might think about the field goal on the first play.
First, second, or third, there are opportunities.
But I mean, when you have a Ken Marshman, you might not want to take a chance on a turnover.
Well, and you always worry, too, about the potential for a bad snap. If you have a bad snap, you can just fall on it and you have another down. Things can happen. So, yes, quite likely in situations with very consistent kickers and kicking games, if you hold them to no points, you can consider it early within that drive. Now, unless your kicker has a preference, instead of being one side of the field or the other, you might run one way or the other. But, no. We're going back to the center. I don't think it's another coin toss. I thought it goes the other way. Check with my rules man here.
Looks like they are going to have the captains decide things. They talk to Evan Klinger. They're not tossing a coin. They're just indicating
Berwick's choice.
Yeah.
And Berwick does have the choice, and they'll probably start defensively unless they've gone crazy. Yeah. And again, each team has a timeout within this new overtime that they can use. Boy, this is thrilling, Jim.
It is.
It's thrilling.
And, you know, we've kind of lost track of Evan Klinger in this game, but it bears repeating at this point. He was not supposed to play in this game. Early in this week, he was having trouble walking. That ankle was swollen. It was discolored. They decided that he could play, but only on defense. He has been a contributor in this game on defense, and a significant one. He'll try to be an influence now as Valley View moving from our left to our right in this second overtime with the football. Score tied at 17. Vernon is the tailback in the eye. Man in motion, Lupini to the right. They give to Vernon up the middle. He's got some running room, breaks a tackle and gets down to around the 2, maybe the 1-yard line.
He did. It had the action moving to the right that might have been coming to sweep. But things opened up in the middle, and he took it there. Danced his way in the A-gap and inched it close to about the 2-yard line, as you say, Jim. Watch for the power eye and for them to run behind it.
Second down and goal from the 1. Power eye to the left. Fuller under center. Gives the ball to Vernon off the left side, in for the touchdown. Seth Vernon in for the score, and Valley View has a 6-point lead in the second overtime.
6-point lead, but you want the 7th point to make it tougher for Berwick. If Berwick still gets their touchdown, they can tie it with their PAT. So it's a critical PAT here. Tough to give up the touchdown. The advantage is certainly going to be with Valley View, but it's a critical PAT they must make.
Dylan Hwanitz will hold. Cesarini will kick it away. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Valley View takes the lead, 24-17, as Matt Cesarini, after kicking the 27-yard field goal that put it into the second overtime, contributes a big extra point. And now Berwick will try to answer.
Berwick has to answer. They have to answer with a touchdown and then a kick for a 2-point play of their own. Most likely a kick to get 7 points and tie it up and send it into a third overtime. Any type of turnover ends it. Berwick can't settle for a field goal. It does no good. They have to match or surpass the score that Valley View put up. One advantage is they do know what they have to get. You know, had this been reversed, Berwick might have settled for 3 at the end of their series of downs, and then Valley View got the touchdown.
3 receivers to the right. Wide receiver left is Joe Norse. From the 10, Beckhorn comes in motion, takes the handoff, sweeps the left side, is hit and dropped as he gets to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the carry by Damon Beckhorn. Second and goal, Berwick in the second overtime from the 8.
Boy, it looked like he had more yardage coming, but Trayon Jones came out of nowhere and managed to take Beckhorn out of the play. We have a stoppage. It looks like maybe it's even Beckhorn who's down. And it looks like they're stretching his toe back. He may have cramped up in his left leg. Have to double check all the numbers coming off, but Beckhorn's number 3 is not among them. A critical player, an impact player who can get you touchdowns, is going to have to miss this play, if not the rest of the series, rest of the game.
And you could argue at this point that Berwick, in this crucial situation with the district championship on the line, 2nd and goal at the 8, trailing by 7, is without 2 of their most impactful players. Of course, Evan Klinger not playing offense tonight because of the injury, and now they're treating Damon Beckhorn on the far side. They gave him to the 7-yard line on the carry. So following this injury timeout, it's going to be 2nd and goal at the 7. So obviously Berwick with a lot of time to talk about what they want to do here, but they trade that time to have Damon Beckhorn on the field.
Yes, they would. I think they're going to go into a passing mode, needing 7 yards and needing the touchdown. That would give you 3 passing attempts to free somebody up. Beckhorn looks like it's more than just a cramp, Jim. Not putting any weight on that left ankle. Well, Berwick has 3 plays left to get a touchdown and then kick a PAT to let this continue. Otherwise, it'll be Valley View at the district championship and continuing into the state tournament.
Now Beckhorn breaks away from the training staff and is starting to jog toward the huddle of Bulldogs. Obviously, he won't be in on this play as it's 2nd and goal at the 7-yard line. Berwick needs a touchdown, an extra point, to send this into what will be a 3rd overtime.
Justin Robbins, one of the receivers in the game, has made some critical catches for his team throughout the year.
He's in the slot to the left. There's also a slot to the right. Marshman rolls right, fires a pass. It's batted down, incomplete. Batted down, incomplete. Looked like Nasir Smith, the defensive end, made the play, and it's 3rd down and goal. Berwick at the 7-yard line.
You'll have 3rd down and you'll have 4th down. There's no field goal kick. It's of no use. You need the touchdown to win the game. So 2 more plays from the 7-yard line. Anticipate passing plays.
Slot to the right, wide receiver left. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, looking. He's in trouble. Rolls right. Going to keep the football. He's going to be battered down at the 7-yard line, maybe the 8. So it's 4th down. Berwick will use a timeout, and their season will come down to this play. It'll be 4th and goal at the 7-yard line. Marshman was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Damon Beckhorn has his helmet off. He's on the sideline. He cannot be part of this. Tegan Wilk is an impact player, is a possibility. He has great hands, but his speed can only get him as deep as the end zone, 17 yards from the line of scrimmage, 7 to the goal line and 17 to the end line. So his hands could come into play. Might try him on an end around, although I don't think the running play is likely. Well, Frank Sheptock has a big playbook, but he has limited talent. Evan Klinger not able to go offensively. Now, Damon Beckhorn out. You need 7 yards. Can someone step up and be the hero and preserve this and keep it going for another series of downs?
We are in the 3rd overtime of this District 2 Quad A championship game. Valley View 24, Berwick 17. Berwick must score a touchdown and get the extra point if they want to send it into a 3rd overtime. They have a 4th and goal at the 7-yard line. Tegan Wilk is wide to the right. There's a slot to the left. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap, back to throw, steps up into it, and he's sacked! He throws the ball ahead and is picked off. It's irrelevant. The game is over. They roll him down on the play. Valley View races onto the field to celebrate a district championship.
I think Berwick had a staggered start. I don't think there was a penalty thrown, but Joe Norris at tight end didn't quite get the movement he wanted on the snap of the ball. He might have been part of the receiving core, maybe slide him into the end zone. In any case, Marshman had nowhere to go with the football. He tries to roll a little bit to the right, tries to move forward, spits the ball forward in desperation because of his football savvy, knowing the game's over if he goes down. It was Janessa Boone who did intercept, and with the interception, the game does end. They don't need points. They won't return that for a touchdown. They blow it dead after the interception, and a tough loss for Berwick. And Valley View on the far side, jubilant, cheerleaders on the field, everyone high-fiving, great excitement for them.
Final score in double overtime. Valley View 24, Berwick 17. We'll be back with the scoring and stats and scores of other games. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
For 50 years, Bodner Sales and Service, 204 West Front Street, Berwick, has been providing superior office equipment to businesses and organizations throughout the area. They are proud of carrying the award-winning line of Konica Minolta office copiers and printers and have purchase, lease, and sales plans to fit any size budget. Regardless of your needs, Bodner's courteous staff will take care of you promptly and efficiently. Bodner Sales and Service has been family-owned since 1967 and would like to thank their loyal customers for 50 great years while also inviting new customers to find out just how good local service can be.
Berlin's Greenhouses expresses their sincere thanks to all of their loyal customers for their patronage during the fall season and throughout the year. They look forward to serving you again next spring. Gift certificates make great gift ideas for the coming holidays, and you can purchase them from Berlin's Greenhouses, as well as wreaths and grave blankets. They will be available during the week and by appointment by calling 752-4255. Berlin's Greenhouses, 6081 Park Road in Berwick. Wish the Berwick Bulldogs well during the playoffs.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard tonight, District 4 Class AA final late in the fourth quarter. Southern Columbia leads Mount Carmel 42-14. In a final score from District 12 Quad A final tonight, Imhotep Charter over Cardinal O'Hara 40-7. In the first round state playoff games tonight, Class AA final, Dunmore over Newport 35-6. Class AAA, Loyal Sock trails Scranton Prep 31-28 in the fourth. In Class 5A, Wyoming Valley West leads Whitehall 32-13 in the fourth. And in Class 6A, State College leads Delaware Valley 21-14 in the fourth. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Bulldogs of Berwick kneeling around head coach Frank Sheptock. Down below us to our right, that has to be Frank's toughest post-game speech of the season. A season ender here tonight, a thriller in double overtime at Crispin Field. Valley View 24 and Berwick 17. Bulldogs got up to a great start in this one. They took the opening kickoff and put together a 9-play, 74-yard scoring drive, capped on an 8-yard touchdown run by Owen Shoemaker. Biggest play along the way, a 36-yard pass completion from Jared Marshman to Damon Beckhorn. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 7-0 Berwick, and it remains so through one quarter of play. Early in the second quarter, though, things turned around. Berwick looked like they were ready to add to the lead. Tegan Wilk caught a pass at the Valley View 38-yard line, but he fumbled the football, and Trayon Jones recovered for the Cougars. And that started them on a 7-play, 62-yard drive, capped on a 2-yard run by Seth Vernon. His 24th rushing touchdown of the season. Matt Cesarini kicked the extra point. That was with 9:55 to go in the second. Score tied at 7, and that's how it remained at halftime. In the third quarter, both teams fumbled the football, keeping them from scoring opportunities, and then Berwick got a big play with 3:25 to go in the third. Owen Shoemaker burst free, a 65-yard touchdown run. Ken Marshman followed with the extra point. Berwick took a 14-7 lead, and that lead held up into the fourth quarter. But then Jared Marshman's pass was picked off by Jaden Duplessis, and returned to the 11-yard line. 2 plays later, Seth Vernon in from 7 yards out for his 25th rushing touchdown of the season. Cesarini kicked the extra point. Score was tied at 14. Valley View appeared to have a great opportunity to win it in regulation when Duplessis picked off Marshman again, this time at the Valley View 48-yard line. Cougars moved the ball methodically downfield to the Berwick 22-yard line, but inexplicably, with 3 timeouts remaining, they did not call any of them, and they actually hurried to the line of scrimmage trying to get a playoff and fumbled the football. Berwick recovering with 11 seconds to go. They just took a knee deep in their own territory and sent the game into overtime. In that first overtime, Berwick got only to the 5-yard line and were forced to go to a field goal by Ken Marshman. He remained perfect on the season from 22 yards out, giving Berwick a 17-14 lead. Valley View took the football and was not able to get anywhere, and they faced 4th and goal at the 10. Matt Cesarita came on and kicked a 27-yard field goal that tied the score at 17 in the second overtime. Valley View got the ball first and got a touchdown from Seth Vernon from 2 yards out. Cesarini with the extra point, 24-17. That meant that Berwick, on their possession, had to get a touchdown. They completed a pass to Damon Beckhorn at the 7, but Beckhorn was injured on the play, so Berwick was without one of their best weapons as a 3rd down and goal, gain nothing. And finally, 4th down and goal from the 7. Marshman looked in the end zone, found nothing there, started to run with it. He was in the grasp, was going to be sacked, pushed the ball ahead, and Janisaw Boone picked off the pass, ending the game, ending the season for the Bulldogs as the Cougars of Valley View across the way celebrate their first District 2 championship since 2011. Berwick ends with a 10-4 record with a heartbreaking double overtime loss, 24-17 the final. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickman.
Berwick ends up at the edge in the stat sheet, 250 total yards, 253 actually, to 210 for Valley View. Valley View, though, did it on the run and did it when they had to do it. They made critical plays. Seth Vernon, their star running back, had a 100-yard game. 25 rushes, 107 yards, and he's the real deal. He has the speed, he has power, he has the vision. Looked strong. In fact, if I was coaching that team, instead of 25 carries, he'd have more of 35 or 40 carries rather than the other people, although the other runners did well. Mason Cordish, one of the runners who spelled in, looked extremely strong. He had 12 carries for 41 yards. Fullback Sam Pitzman, 5 carries for 20 and played a strong defensive game as well. The team on a fumble will suffer a 1-yard loss. And then quarterback Chandler Fuller, he rushed 11 times for 36. So led by the tailbacks, Cordish with 41 yards and Vernon with 107. They end up with 54 carries, 203 yards. That's actually keeping them in check. Berwick's defense had a tough time with that power running game, but this is a team that on the season was getting 291 yards a game against a pretty challenging schedule. Berwick holds them to 203, and in the air, just 7 yards. Quarterback Chandler Fuller, 3 of 6 for just 7 yards. Chase Coombs caught a 5-yarder in the second half. Mason Cordish, who had just 1 catch on the season, had 2 here for a net of 2 yards as he attempted some screen passes. So just 7 in the air, as we didn't expect this team to throw much. 203 yards on the ground. Came as advertised, came with that power running game. Berwick did everything in its power to try to match it physically, try to screw it up with strategy, play it a lot of different ways, a valiant effort against a powerhouse running team. With those 203 yards, pretty much commanded the control of the game even through the overtime periods. 210 total yards in offense with 203 of them on the ground. For Berwick, 147 on the ground, 106 in the air for a total of 253. I have Jared Marshman passing 10 completes in 20 attempts, but there were 3 interceptions. Fellow who did not suffer the interceptions through the year suffers 2 legitimate ones. The last one at the end of the game, you have to just fling it up there and hope something happens. Game's over regardless, so it's just a stat sheet interception. 106 yards in the air. Damon Beckhorn caught 4 passes for a total of 55 yards. Tegan Will caught 3 passes for 19. Alex Parks caught a 29-yard pass. Joe Norris caught a 3-yard pass. In all, 106 yards in the air. Berwick had 147 on the ground. Evan Klinger, no carries. We did not expect to see him carry. The senior star of this team played a tremendous game defensively. Valiant effort on a sore ankle. Constantly seen coming up and making the hits that he had to make, playing some strong contain, leading defensively, and played a great game. He'll finish his rushing career on the season with 133 carries and 885 yards, but no carries in this one. Owen Shoemaker filled in wonderfully. Shoemaker, 18 carries, 128 yards. He was a stud. Looked really, really good when they could go to him. There were times where the defense physically, came up and matched up with him, but he kept plugging. His offense kept plugging. The linemen did a nice job, and Owen Shoemaker finishes the game 18 carries, 128 yards. Damon Beckhorn had 4 carries, 5 carries for 23, and quarterback Jared Marshman, he'll be given 3 carries for -4. A nice split with 147 on the ground, 106 in the air, 253 overall. The 253 is above the 210 that they surrendered to Valley View. But a lot of factors, a lot of momentum switches, I think, but in the end, Valley View just a little too physical in its running game, and it proved itself in overtime, Jim. Berwick maybe one too many mistakes in this one. Boy, what an exciting finish, though, to a season.
It was. The 3 interceptions, remember the 2 fumbles. So that's 5 turnovers. That's uncharacteristic for Berwick. They came in with a +10 in the turnovers department for the season. Just happened at the wrong time, but still you can go back and a play here and a play there.
Oh, boy, and there was a interception in the overtime that could have been made that would have won the game. Of course, Valley View's going to, say, hey, had we used our timeouts right, we could have won it in regulation with the field goal. So 2 great programs with great history putting a great game together here.
And let's sum this up. Berwick had 4 starters back from last year's team that lost 5 games. And they made it to the district final, and they made it to the second overtime of the district final. So let's take a look at these seniors. Just mention them quickly. Evan Klinger, Jared Marshman, Joe Norris, Malik McMillan, Alex Parks, Jimmy LeGrand, Ken Marshman, Noah Craig, the senior, Skylar Buckman, Austin DeWall, Chris Gross, Tom Monaco, Jared Watts, and Damon Beckhorn. This team made it to the district final all 3 of the years that they were on varsity. They played on George Curry's last team. They played on Frank Cheptock's first team. They played in the school's 800th win. They beat Valley View Valley West, the big rival, as a senior. That's a nice career.
It's a legacy team there, Jim. You mentioned the bridging from George Curry era through the Frank Cheptock area, going through that transition and, from one strong finish to another strong finish in their 3 years. It's a team to be congratulated on great effort and great football.
And by the way, this is our last game, and if we could do every single game, high school and college, from Crispin Field, that would be okay.
Oh, I'd love it. I would love it.
Our thanks to Betty Culver, who runs the press box and made it so comfortable for us during the course of this season. Thanks also to Raven Klein, who did such a great job of producing all the games during the season. Valley View with the victory, their first district championship since 2011. They will take a 10-3 record into their second-round state playoff game next week against Imhotep Charter. Imhotep Charter is the District 12 champion. They beat Cardinal O'Hara tonight by a score of 40-7. For the Bulldogs of Berwick, their season ends with a 10-3 record. That final again in double overtime. Valley View 24, Berwick 17. Fran Ulickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Classic Rock 103.5.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs Football Playoffs on Classic Rock 103.5. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 in Berwick. See you after the game. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Dalo's Bakery, Freese Avenue in Berwick. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, a dream getaway for your dog. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Metrocast Cablevision, cutting edge entertainment for the whole family to enjoy. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday.